50 and 2023 8250. Call AE Chick One Farm Equipment, your local independent Case IH dealer in Storthokes. 306-449-2255. That's 449-2255.
620 CKRM on location.
Hello, everybody. 620 CKRM is on location at Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. And you know what? We've got a whole group of people listening to Sportscage this afternoon. And people that use Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, they keep track of sports. They have interests like everybody else does. Kathy, tell us a little bit about what the programming is like here to include everybody.
So we have programs that go anywhere from meals to shelter to clothing. We do addiction services, daycare services, and affordable housing.
And Kathy was just telling me that the clothing store is open absolutely free, but you're always looking for clothing.
Totally so. We take most everything in clothes. We don't take shoes and we don't take underwear, but everything used clothing, we will give it away for free.
Perfect. For Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, where we've got a community barbecue starting at 4, I'm Gloria Evans.
Employee pricing is back.
Right now, you pay what I pay.
You pay what we pay.
It's amazing. And guess what? You don't have to do any work.
Right now, you pay what I pay.
They get our discount?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? We got over 100 F-150s. We got over 50 Super Duties. We got Escapes, Bronco Sports, over 300 new vehicles to choose from. We got it all. Don't miss the employee pricing at Capital Ford Lincoln.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
All game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
That is right, Saskatchewan. That's where we are, the old ball game. Greg from Piffles Podcast is with me. It's the Thursday edition of the Sports Cage. Getting windy out here at Currie Field, but what an event already. You can just tell the volunteers are buzzing. We're here for the next 3 hours. We're planning to be here today. It is the Canadian Men's Championship at Currie Field and at Optimus Field. You see Matt Miller there coming into the frame. He's giving us some water. Thank you very much, Matt. Like I said, volunteers here. Things are great. Quebec is just rolling in. They lost today.
They
upset
by Saskatchewan. One of the Saskatchewan teams anyway, Saskatoon.
Yeah, Saskatoon, Marysburg. They were calling them the misfits, kind of guys from all over, which happens when you go to national championships like this. But yeah, we are here. If you like baseball, we're gonna run down some of the guys. A lot of pro experience here. Guys that played in the minors, some guys that did play in the majors. Tonight at 7:00, the host Trappers take on Nova Scotia. And fitting on Thursday when we talk to Arash Madani from Nova Scotia, that our Trappers are taking on his guys at 7:00. If you're coming down here, beer gardens will be rocking. Of course, the concession. You and I both crushed a burger.
Highly recommend that burger. I want to know what kind of side action we can get on Arash on that game between Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan.
We maybe, he's in town next week, so whoever wins we could collect easily. But the burgers are good. The song goes peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Now, I can't remember the last time I had Cracker Jacks.
Besides the box stuff you find, can you even find that anymore?
That is a good question. 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. Prairie Land Rentals in Regina, 600 Albert Street. Whatever you need to rent, whether it's small jobs or big jobs, they can help hook you up. I don't know. Peanuts, obviously, yeah, I can't do the sunflower seeds because of the goat situation.
I can't even think anytime I went to a ball game and bought peanuts. I'm pretty sure those are outlawed now with today's allergic reactions.
Last ball game I went to, I remember them selling peanuts. But yeah, the Cracker Jack thing, just never was a Cracker Jack guy, to be honest with you. For the show today, as before we go too far off the rails, we do have a lot of rider news and news from practice. We're going to hear from the new kicker that was brought in to maybe shadow/push Brett Lawther a bit. We're going to hear from Coach Mace. We also are going to hear from Micah Johnson here in hour one. So a lot to get to on the rider front. Greg, obviously, like I said, from Piffle's podcast. It's funny because you guys record on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, yep.
And then it was dropped yesterday.
Wednesday. Yeah, and that's the way it goes. We understand Craig and Jeremy wait until we record before they drop rider news. We understand that. Of course, what do we talk about that night? Kickers and what they need to do. And but yeah, no, bringing in Campbell Fair definitely is going to hopefully push Lawther back to where his headspace needs to be. Fair, no real CFL experience other than training camp and preseason games. So I guess we'll hopefully, maybe we'll see what happens under live fire. But right now, it sounds like Mace put him under the pressure yesterday, making him kick some long ones.
What do you think? What do you should you just ride the vet now? Because there was the Boris Beatty talk, crazy callers calling in about Justin Tucker, which was never going to happen. But there was a couple legitimates. Your ties to the Thunder, you like the local kid, name escaping me now.
Eric Maximic, yeah.
Yeah, that they can maybe bring him in to just kind of maybe be there in case. They're going to work it through with Lawther, do you think?
The way Mace has always talked, they were always going to stand behind Brett because he's always going to get his way through. Is always the thing, and he has in the past. If you look at Brett Lawther's history, he's had those bad games and he's gotten through it. This year, it's not more than one or two. It's been a string of games. Yep. So at some point, he's going to have to either get through it, or if he's fighting an injury, maybe you need to sit him down and have Campbell Fair take over a game.
If the team was 5-3, would things be different?
If there were way closer games that where Lawther would have cost them a game, like look at what happened last year in Montreal. That game was winnable. That cost us the West Final. If we would have won that game, we would have hosted the West Final. He missed 4 kicks that game, and a wind gust in Montreal gave Winnipeg the first place in the Winnipeg.
Forgot about that.
Oh, believe me, I remember that one very well. But the fact remains is they have won despite Brett's problems, which is good because that means no game has been that close. But the fact remains is one game that is going to count for something, and that could be the difference between a one-game playoff and a Grey Cup victory.
Yeah, we are going to hear a little bit later from Campbell Fair. Defensive side of the ball, you haven't given up a touchdown in 2 games. Again,
this defense is eating, and I love every minute of it.
And we're rushing forward, we're getting to quarterbacks again, and it's been well documented probably this year more than any football that it's not always about sacks. It's about pressures and just basically making a quarterback feel uncomfortable, which is what they're doing.
Well, look what they did to Bo Levi Mitchell last game. The Ticats have arguably the most high-powered offense in this league, and they were getting in his face. They brought him down quite a bit, but that's because the defensive backs were also playing in great position. Some of those were defensive back sacks, basically. So, like, this 4-man pressure that they've gotten, like, everyone was worried about Shane Ray. Like, he's an injury case. He's always in your best abilities are availability, and he's always been a guy that's been injured. Well, he's healthy, he's playing well, and his career's having a resurgence.
Yeah.
And Micah Johnson's an ageless wonder.
Speaking of Micah Johnson, Dave Thomas had a little one-on-one. Here he is with the ageless one, Micah.
Micah Johnson, does going back to Calgary ever get old?
No. It's always fun to go back there and have a good battle. It's always fun.
Tell me about this battle that's upcoming. There's been a lot of talk about, well, that's the only blemish on the Riders' record. Is that really the simplified version of what this game is going to mean?
I mean, for sure, man. I mean, it's a one loss. They came into our house and handled business. We have a lot of pride in protecting our home, and they came out and got that win against us. So it's a chance to be able to return the favor for sure.
Coach Mace said we're going to watch that game a few times this week. How much video has come from that game in particular into this week's game plan?
A lot, man. There's a lot to learn from with that tape. We feel like that was probably our worst game defensively, especially from a mental standpoint. We made so much mental mistakes, so it was so much to learn from on that front.
The running game, that was what Calgary really lived and died by, setting the tone by being able to run the football. How do you slow that down? Or is that what you're alluding to when you say the mental mistakes?
That's up there too. I mean, we had some mental mistakes. Definitely in the run game, we weren't the most assignment clean. Guys getting out of the gaps occasionally, including myself. Yeah, man. I mean, it was enough. It was enough blame, and I want to go around for everybody. I think everybody on the defense has to learn to take from that.
6 sacks for your defensive line last week. What's changed, or what is clicking right now that maybe wasn't where you were getting those sack tallies at the start of the season?
We just gelling, man. It was our first time being together as a group, and I think we had to gel. And I think it's kind of showing. I think. Everybody on the D-line love each other. We got a good relationship, and everybody want the guy next to him to win. So, we're doing things to help out the guy beside us, and it's a very, very talented group. And I kind of feel like that competitive edge is kind of taking over to where it's like, man, everybody's trying to get some, and we got so much dogs in the room that you better be fast getting there. Someone else going to.
Coach Mace alluded to the fact that he allows you guys some latitude when it comes to how you set up pre-snap. What does that mean to you, and how much latitude have you taken?
A lot. A lot. I think the D-line really has. I think that's another reason why you're seeing us play the way we play. I feel like that's one of the reasons why you have a veteran group. And so you can kind of take your hands off and let us do our thing. I mean, it's a lot of football in that room, a lot of guys that's played at the high level. And he's just really giving us a chance to kind of spread our wings, take control of some things, take control of some fronts we want to rush out of, calls and things like that. So, I mean, that's good for us, and it also let us know how comfortable he is, with what's doing that. So, I mean, I think that's the reason why you bring a veteran group together, man, to let them go.
Back in the day, veteran quarterbacks used to talk about when they were allowed to call their own plays, they had a sense of the rhythm, and it made them flow better and execute the game plan to a higher level. Do you feel that?
For sure, 100%. I mean, it's one of those things, you draw up things all the time, and very, very rarely is it like how you draw it up on the paper, right? So it just gives us an ability to adjust in game. Hey, coach, they're not setting like this, or they're not running 62 pass protection or 61 pass protection, or just everything like that. We're able to analyze it in the game and come up right there on the spot with what we can do to beat them. So a lot of times we'll have a plan coming into the game, and after I've talked to Currie a few times, talked to Coach Phil a few times, we're making adjustments on the sideline. And it's having a veteran group, it's easy to make those adjustments because of the communication, and we can draw it up right there on the sidelines, and we'll all understand what to do.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, but Coach Mace already pointed out, got to ask him about playing offense. You've been going in on short yardage plays. Is that fun?
Yeah. It's fun, bro, but it's stressful for me. I want them dudes I don't want to mess up, so I don't ever want to go out there and be a reason like offense didn't get a first down with like a hold or offsides or something like that. So for me, I'm like kind of tiptoeing on eggshells, just listening to the O-line and double checking with them. But it's always fun, especially when we do short yardage. It's kind of like my get back. I get to kind of initiate some hitting on the short yardage versus just getting piled on by 8 guys. So it's fun, man.
Mike, I appreciate it. All the best this week.
Always, bud. Always.
Yeah, that guy's a weapon, as they say. Like Mr. Versatility, Ageless Wonder, whatever.
Well, he plays both sides of the ball. Dude's in massively insane shape for a guy his age. Like, typically, a man of his age is not playing pro football anymore. He's looking at moving on and selling cars or coaching or whatever his next step is.
But I'm trying to think, like, all the nagging little things that would hurt, and Trevor Harris, right? All these guys, and it is a different time. Training is a lot better. Supplements are a lot better. Physiotherapy down the line, everything is so much better than years ago. But how these old guys can grind it out and keep week after week, and football, no secret, is such a physical game. And you are playing one a week, but it's just so physical, and then you got to recoup. And I said it before, right? Like those plane trips for the older guys that are banged up, you got to hop on a bird for 3-4 hours. That's not easy. So what he's doing, Antoine Brooks Jr. Getting a little running back touch, yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm curious to ask Luke how much that happened back in his time. If, guys like Mike or guys that could maybe play both sides of the ball, do you say, hey, just in case, do you want to take a few reps here? We know you played some of this in high school or college, but for a lot of these guys, high school is a long time ago, and it's a different game.
Oh, 100%. And it's also a different level. Like I played running back in college. Well, they're not just going to run you out there if they don't think you can, but you're seeing that a lot. These athletes are athletes. On the Thunder alone, we actually, I say that as the Royal We because I'm on the board, but our new fullback was a linebacker last season.
Yeah.
So these guys have played at all different levels, and they move over as best they see fit because it is a team game.
Yeah. Lots to get through today. We are live at Currie Field here. It's the Canadian Men's National Baseball Championship. The host, Regina Trappers, 7 o'clock against Nova Scotia. The other Saski team upset Quebec. You see them rolling in here. Boy, they're I don't know. I didn't have that line, I tell you that much. I love chirping. Hey,
just chirping Quebec as they were rolled by.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's 7 o'clock. It's going to be buzzing here. We do have tickets. I just got word. We still have a few tickets. So if you're not doing anything this weekend, tomorrow into the weekend, you want to watch some of the best baseball in the country at Currie Field. It is going on at Optimist here. We're at Currie for the next little bit. 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. You have to let us know what's your favorite ballpark in Saskatchewan. Ooh. Favorite baseball park in Saskatchewan. If you're watching the stream, you see this sweet rope hat they gave me. It says Natties. And they got these for sale, $45 right there in the Regina Red Sox merchandise trailer. They got a bunch of other stuff here. So we're live. If you want to go watch some baseball this weekend, let us know. Still more to come on the Riders. It is a Sports Cage live at Currie Field. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
And a good afternoon. It's Sports Cage time and talking ball, and we got some good ball teams up around this area. We are at the rec center right now. The ball diamonds are right behind the curling rink and the skating rink here, and all the money and the proceeds from this lottery go back into the facilities, such as the rec center, the Foam Lake Recreation Hall, and, of course, the golf course. And they just appreciate it, so we appreciate your support. We want to reward you by giving you $250,000 for a $100 investment back in the community. If you need a combine, you got some bumper crops, or you don't have a hopper maybe that's big enough, or a header that can't handle the job anymore, let's fix that. $330,000 in combine cash towards a John Deere, Case IH, New Hollander, Claas. Ask about the 50/50 and more. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
Hey there, it's Gloria Evans. Yeah, we're all on board. We're all on base when it comes to what's going on around the community. 35th anniversary of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. We have a community barbecue that's going to be happening here at 4 o'clock. And Kathy Ingram, tell us a little bit about Souls Harbor and why it's so important for people to take note.
Totally. So Souls Harbor Rescue Mission has been in Regina helping people who need a little extra hand up for 35 years. So we do meals, shelter, clothing, addiction services, daycare, as well as affordable housing.
sometimes you just need somebody to listen to or offer you some advice. And I think that we've seen how complete that addictions program is and what people have done to give back.
Totally so. We've had many people go through our addictions program, and many people have become very successful following it. And afterwards, they just want to help out. So it's a really great way to support what we do.
If you want more information, drop by and say hi, 1632 Angus Street, or go online at shrmsk.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 140,000 five-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 plus standard installation is included. For all your hot water needs,
call on Reliance.
Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking to sell farm machinery or heavy equipment? At Asset Link, they do more than auctions. They listen. Whether you want to consign or a full auction sale, they help you choose what's right for your bottom line. Born and raised right here in Saskatchewan, they understand the land, the market, and the people who make it run. So when it's time to sell, link up with the team that knows the prairies best. Selling 365 days a year. Asset Link. Prairie strong, customer focused. AssetLink.ca.
Welcome back to Sportscage. Connect with the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262.
We are live at Currie Field in Regina at the National Men's Baseball Championship. Greg from the Cripples podcast is with me. Speaking of baseball, got Andrew Albers from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, played in the major leagues. Interview from the Monday Nooner podcast, cut it up a bit. Really interesting story there. That's coming up in about 8 minutes time here, but let's continue the Rider talk going. Mario Alford, again, practicing today, but not full.
It sounds like he's not playing this week, let's put it that way. So we got another week of Trey McRae, which, despite his looking really good in the preseason, has been kind of scary the last couple of games.
It's a work in progress. It's a work. It's you never know what you're going to get on any given punt.
Well, the thing is, though, when he catches it, it looks like he goes straight upfield, which is good. But problem is, he's too busy looking for that first hole, and he's keeping his eye off the ball.
Yeah, no, his first game, there were definitely a lot of jitters there to work through, no doubt about it. Coach Mace today talking to the media, and he was asked if he's expecting a physical game with the Stamps.
Probably so. You know, that's I think it's just the mental makeup of both teams. Certainly they've played a physical brand of football all year, and we have, I think, for the majority outside of, you know, I thought they got us in that department. So, you know, it was a little bit of a kick in the teeth, so to speak, for us, and we definitely needed it. And I think we've been good ever since. So, yes, I think you're pretty accurate saying it's probably going to be physical.
I think every football game is physical, personally.
By nature of the game, yeah, every game is very physical.
And you know what? Home field advantage, maybe a bit. Having Jock Wilson on the other day talking about it is that Christmas tree of green, red, and white.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. Not a typical home game for the Stamps. It's definitely 50-50, probably at best.
Have you ever been to a game there?
I have not been to McMahon yet. I was across from McMahon this past week when I was there with the Thunder, but I haven't actually been inside the stadium yet.
Yeah, I heard, talked about it. The tailgate. The tailgate's really good. What are you thinking? What are you maybe not expecting? But what are you thinking the Riders have to do this time around with VA?
You got to put pressure on them. It's the same playbook they have for Bo Levi Mitchell. You got to keep him under pressure. You got to take him off his spot. Don't get me wrong. VA is one of the best guys at moving out of that pocket, but you got to put him into a spot where he's uncomfortable. You can't make him find his spot, because he can find a spot. He's going to find his receivers. The good news is for the Riders, their Alfred is also out, who's their biggest receiver. So what the Riders need to do is make them one-dimensional, keep Dedrick Mills out of that game, make VA beat you, which seems crazy to say out loud, but that's what they have to do.
Coach Mace, talking to the media again today, he said how they're preparing for the versatility of Vernon Adams Jr.
It's tough, he's able. Right now too. He's standing in there and he's delivering the ball. Good timing. He's the spots where he's putting them, man. He's been on it. And then obviously, we all know what he's able to do with his legs if need be. But he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So those are always tough.
I'm kind of thinking, though, and I'm kind of going back to that game we lost and taking nothing away from the mighty Calgary Stampeders. But after that game and the Stamps win, like, there were so many people crowning them. If you want to crown them, then crown them.
Yeah.
But the game was played the next day.
Yeah.
This whole smoke thing. Yeah, we say that was an advantage for the Riders because they're sleeping at home. We don't know, though. We don't know how many guys had to go home. They had to take care of the kids. They had a honey to-do list. You got to. It was weird. Now, the Stamps, they played good that game. I feel like that was the little bit of laying an egg on the Riders side, where last year, that Edmonton game, I don't know if we'll ever see one like that, where Edmonton comes in here, no business, and played well. So, but do you remember, I was going back, but how everybody thought Calgary was so good.
No, and I agree. But also for the Riders, they were also pulling this beginning of the season. They won games where they were a little tighter than they should be. Look at that Toronto game. They weren't. They should have lost. That game at minimum should have went to overtime. And Mario Alford pulls that one out. Sometimes you don't realize you're in a fight until you take your first punch to your face, and that was the Riders getting punched in the face. And since then, they've seemed to lock in and turn it up. So, the last two games, no touchdowns. Just ridiculous.
Coach Mace talked about the Calgary D and how they're surprising people, but how?
They're coached really well with Slow. They got really good coaches. Clundy, Bowman over there. B. Miles, man. They got a lot of guys who've been really good coaches in this league, and it's reflecting out there on the field. They play their defense very well. They know how to adjust to offenses, and ultimately they play physical as ever, man. So it's a tough task for any offense going against them, us as well.
Yeah, I'm very curious on that matchup on Saturday. Their D and our O.
It's going to be a slugfest, I think, both ways. It's best on best. Their defense, our offense. Their offense, our defense. Both these teams are in the top three in all categories, essentially, on both sides of the ball. The fact remains is you got to beat the team in front of you, and I don't think the Riders want to go into the playoffs knowing they dropped 2 games to the Calgary Stampeders this year.
No, definitely not. And just with how things can work out here, because we're probably not we're not at Labor Day yet, where everyone's like, hey, well, that's when the season starts. We still have now a little bit of a buffer to the Stamps. I think this game, even though again it's early, but I can't see this team going on a 5-game slide. Personally, I can, and I'm not green colored glasses guy right now. I just can't see it happening. I think this game, and we win it, this goes 90%. We're hosting the West Final.
I think so too, and I've seen a lot of people go, "Well, they need to be in by 15. They need to be in by 15." I'm like, no, they just need to keep on winning. That win puts us 3 ahead of the Stampeders.
Exactly.
And as long as we keep winning, we don't need to worry about that tiebreaker. Just win the game.
Just that. Yeah. That's and. I think that's what's going to happen. Going back to the defensive line and hearing Micah earlier, them being able to make their own calls.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's something I want to ask Luke tomorrow, which will be really cool. Coach Mace talked about if that is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, you hope, right? But even that, you know, we didn't start out like that in training camp. You got to earn that right. And, you know, we've gotten to the point where I think those guys have. But certainly, you know, there's a mix of things where it's like, hey, this needs to be done. So specifically, you know, with a mobile quarterback back there, you can't get too crazy. You just got to make sure that you're applying pressure and not leaving too many escape lanes open. You know, inevitably there's going to be some. But you got to make sure that you know where they are and they're accounted for.
Yeah. Oh, that's it's such an interesting one. I think everybody's revved for it to know about. We're going to hear more from Coach Mace a little bit later. We're going to try and hear from Keyshawn Johnson as well. We're live at Currie Field. Greg from Piffles is with me. By the way, Colson's back at the studio. Curtis is here making sure everything runs smoothly. It's the Canadian National Men's Baseball Championship. The host, Regina Trappers, take on the two-time defending champs from Quebec at 7 o'clock here at Currie tonight. Quebec was upset by the Saskatchewan representative of Saskatoon guy, Marysburg. This is kind of a mismatch of guys. They upset Quebec in the opener at Currie here today. I did get a little heckle in when the Quebec, I think it was coach or manager, walked by. So that'll be fun. If you want to come, like I said, 936-6262. We do have a couple weekend passes still to give away. Colson's going to have that. I'm just asking you, what is your favorite ballpark in the province? Georgie Porgy out in Pilot. He says the Pilot Butte Diamonds at Inland Park, obviously his favorite. They built him to host Westerns in 01, 02. That's a long time ago. Life Standards, Dan Croft and Croft Electric had a hand in that, he said. Fleming, Saskatchewan.
There we go. There we go. That's what I want to hear. That ball, Diamond Green Acres Ballpark in Fleming, for a town of like 10 people. They built that diamond for the Fleming Jets. It is a diamond. It is a gem.
Really?
Next time you drive through Manitoba, stop into Fleming. Can't miss the ballpark. You will not believe a town of Fleming has a ballpark.
What if it's November? I'm going there for a hockey tournament, and there's usually some sort of blizzard.
Okay, then wait until the grass is green on it. Let's put it that way.
Fleming, Marysburg. We got Munster, also Cairnsfield and Saskatoon. Let us know, 936-6262. Even if you can't come this weekend, you don't want the passes, let us know what your favorite ballpark is in Saskatchewan. It's a Sports Cage live at Currie Field at the National Men's Baseball Championship on the home of local sports, 620 CKRM.
Two-Way Service, your Ford dealer in Southie, continue to have big-time deals going on for their 2024 clear-out. Save $10,000 on the last 2024 Bronco Sport. Save $8,000 on the last 2024 Ford Escape. Save $4,500 on the last 2024 Ranger. And check out our great selection of 2025s with savings up to $10,000. Plus, get a trip for two to Vegas with every purchase. Two-Way Service in Southie. Take the short drive to Southie now. You'll be glad you did. TwoWayService.com.
620 CKRM on location.
And it's the Foam Lake Recreation Combine Lottery. We have less than 1,000 tickets to go, and we're going to wrap things up at 8 o'clock tonight. Visa, MasterCard, $100 will get you in the draw drum. And if you want a 50-50, you can get a 3-pack of tickets for $50. The best way to roll the money saver is the Super Pack. You can get 10 tickets for $10. Yeah, that's the selection the majority of those that have flown in are taking, because you're saving there and you've got more chances to win that $160,000 if we sell out. That's based on a sellout, so that's a pretty good payout for just a 50-50 grand prize, $250,000, or the option, $330,000 in combine cash towards the purchase of a combine. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
Hello from Souls Harbor Rescue Mission at 1632 Angus Street in Regina. Kathy Ingram is with me today. And Kathy, you've done a variety of different jobs in Regina where you're dealing with people. Homelessness is an issue in the city, but Souls Harbor is here to help ease the burden of some of the folks that come by.
Totally so. Souls Harbor is here to help people where they need something. So if you need a meal, we've got you. If you need help with clothing, we've got you there too. We'll help you work with your addictions. We'll help you find a place to stay if you need. So we're here.
Great community spirit, I think, within the building with the staff and the volunteers. And today, who is coming to volunteer and who's your sponsor today?
Today, Regina Rotary Club is coming to volunteer and help us serve supper, and our sponsor is LS Security, and we're so grateful for both of those groups.
It's Gloria Evans, Kathy Ingram at Souls Harbor Rescue Mission for 620 CKRM.
When you sit down to play with Bodog.net, you won't even need a seat, just the edge of it. That's all you need to live every fiery bonus round of our new slot game, Crystals on Fire. Light up your gameplay with every dazzling reward. Feel the thrill of collecting every crystal, sparkling jackpots, and setting the stage for every explosive win. Live sports odds, poker tips, and free-to-play casino games. Bodog.net. Make a play.
Are you relying on credit cards to make ends meet? Are you making just the minimum payment and carrying a balance month after month? It's time to break free from the debt spiral and take control of your finances. I'm Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. During a free consultation, I can explain all your debt relief options and stop your credit card bills from piling up. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
This summer, if you're thinking of a new building, think Olympic Buildings. They're engineered from top to bottom to be better than the rest. Strength, solid design, and impressive good looks are all standard on an Olympic farm building. Visit olympic-buildings.ca.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. This is Sportscage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Cage on this Thursday for Access Communications. Also, usually Sharky's here. He's not here today, so Greg's in his place, filling in admirably. It's always for Flooring Superstore and Trent Dick and his team at Flooring Superstore in Regina. We're at Currie Field. It's the National Men's Baseball Championship. Speaking of baseball, Andrew Albers from North Battleford, Saskatchewan. We had a chance to interview him on the Monday Nooner podcast. It's about an hour long. It's a really good interview. His story of driving from Arizona to Florida to get just for one try, like it's a really cool story. If you want to go listen to the full thing, here's about 10 minutes of it, and it starts with, if there was a chance that Andrew would be playing here this weekend for the Trappers.
Trappers, I'm sure they're like reaching out and they wanted you to come. Like, this is no joke though. Like, there's a lot of guys with pro experience coming to play.
Oh yeah, it'll be a great tournament. I went to nationals one year actually with the Yellow Jackets back when I think I was 17. And we were in Prince George, BC. Prince George? Yeah, I think Prince George. Yeah, there'll be some good baseball there. There'll be some really good ball. I would have loved to have been a part of it if it wouldn't have taken so much to again, my biggest thing is didn't want to go and be a part of it and not be competitive. And if it wouldn't take so much to get to where I want to be in order to actually go and play in a tournament like that, I certainly would have gone. It would have been a lot of fun, but just couldn't do it this summer.
You mentioned that you before we got on here that you did help with the Berries last year, not this year, but then the Red Sox pull off this kind of dream run, losing most of their rotation, and they go on to win. Just the WCBL in general, and how Saskatoon's really embraced that team, and that group's done an unreal job. Just what do you think about the league where it is? You must be happy to see it as a Sasky baseball guy.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, that's great to see Regina have the run that they did. It's a weird league right now because it probably runs about 2 weeks too long. And so a lot of teams lose their guys because they all go back to school for kind of that playoff push, which is really unfortunate. The ownership group that's with the Berries, they've done an unbelievable job. They create an awesome atmosphere at the ballpark. They're getting a couple thousand people every night pretty much. So they've done a great job. I think people were really excited. Obviously, they had a great year this year. They got rid of the problem from last year, which was obviously the pitching coach. And so they set a record for the WCBL this year. So that was awesome to see. I unfortunately didn't get out to a game with the new baby, but yeah, they do a great job with the atmosphere. It's nice because that Alberta side has always been probably a little bit better from a fan standpoint, but now having the Berries there and hopefully Regina making that run gets people excited about them as well. And
do you see, like you talked about Mully and then the other guys that have gone through and all that, do you see now where baseball is, and now there's academies but it's just baseball. These kids are like so into it. Do you think that we're going to see it's inevitable to see more kids in the majors from Saskatchewan?
I really hope so. I think certainly the coaching is getting a lot better. And again, with these academies, kids are getting to play a little bit more. Hopefully that pays off. I think it's going to happen. There's going to be a few more. There's actually Garrett Hawkins is from Bigger. He's having a hell of a season right now in high A and double A. So, he might be the next guy. He's starting to knock on the door a little bit, maybe a year or two away. But I think he's the only one from Saskatchewan I know right now that is playing above A ball. But again, you hope that this provides opportunities for kids, right? And it's not an easy road. It's not something you're always going to kind of be behind the 8 ball because the competition is never going to be what it is in Arizona or what it is in Florida or warm weather states or the Dominican, right? Where they get to play all the time. But, again, better coaching, more practice time. These indoor facilities that are popping up make a huge difference. I think there's no question that the average baseball player is much better now than they were, whatever it was, 15, 20 years ago.
So North Battleford, is that where you live? Is that where you grow up? Is that where everything happens for you until what age?
Till 18. So that's where I grew up. Went to high school at John Paul II Collegiate. Played all my minor baseball in North Battleford. Obviously got picked up every once in a while by a Saskatchewan Regina team, maybe for nationals or westerns or something of that nature. But we weren't even a AAA team. Back when I played, you had A, AA, and AAA was the highest level. And we played AA baseball in North Battleford. So I didn't even play at the highest level in Saskatchewan. And when I was 16, 17, 18, we used to call it midget, I guess. Now it's 18U. And so that's where I played all my baseball. And I was really fortunate. My dad coached me all through my high school career. And then I was fortunate to get an opportunity to go down south and play in university.
Were scouts coming out to be like, where should we make our rounds today? You know what? Let's head up to North Battleford. Well, or did you have to send videos in? And how did it work back then?
There's a little bit of a combination of a few things there. Certainly, no scout's first trip was to North Battleford. Let's put it that way. Did have a couple guys eventually make the trip up there to come watch, but that certainly wasn't stop one. I was fortunate when I was 16, 17, got to play for Team Saskatchewan. The baseball Canada puts on the Canada Cup every year, which is a big baseball tournament where every province takes their best 16, 17-year-olds. So I got to go play in that for a couple years. And that was kind of where my journey started. Started thinking I might get an opportunity to go down south. There was a coach that goes up there every year, a guy by the name of Gary Henderson. Used to be with Oregon State. And he started kind of recruiting me then. And he ended up taking the pitching coach job at Kentucky and kind of took me with him as recruit. I actually didn't have a lot of offers out of high school. He did actually come up to North Battleford to watch me pitch for the Yellow Jackets. And I think back then it was just the WCBL or WMBL. I can't even remember which. I played in that when I was 18, my last year of high school.
So you were drafted twice. First time Milwaukee, 12th round, 346 overall in 2004. And then you go back into the draft a few years later. How does that process work? Like you just weren't ready to come out as college was your priority, obviously, so you don't sign, go back into the draft.
Yeah, baseball's a little bit different that way. And, things are starting to change now because you got NIL and you got so many junior colleges and whatnot. I don't know if these rules will change soon or not, but you're draft eligible coming out of high school. And then if you go to a Division I program, once you set foot in a classroom, you're not draft eligible again until after your junior year. So you got to wait at least 3 years if you do that. If you go to a junior college or an NAI school or community college, then you're draft eligible again after your first year. But as soon as you go to a Division I school, you have to stay there for 3 years. So that's where I was at. Getting drafted out of high school, shocked me, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it. I was in my opinion, a big overdraft. I wasn't ready at all. I had a pretty good. I was pretty comfortable with the scholarship offer I had going to the University of Kentucky, and had told scouts that I would likely go there. I didn't think that they would offer me enough money to make it worth passing that up. So I wasn't even home when it happened. Like, I found out I was actually on a senior trip, I think, in Ranger Lake, Saskatchewan, about 11:30 or midnight when I got home that I'd been drafted that day. A little bit different back then, right? You're not following it online and everything like that, but so just didn't think I was ready. I was I think $167 coming out of high school, and hadn't lifted, had never been in a gym, had never lived on my own. I don't think the pro career would have gone very well if I had signed out of high school. Then went to school and went to University of Kentucky and didn't have a good junior year. And so had a much better senior year, and I got drafted after my senior year again, and that's when I signed.
Again, this is Andrew Albers, former Major League pitcher from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, in his interview on the Monday Nooner podcast. Now, this one was a long one, so I cut it up, but it's a really cool story. He talks about how he went to Arizona, drove to Arizona, stayed with his aunt and uncle, and while in Arizona, the Minnesota Twins said they would maybe take a look at him, but they were all the way in Florida, so he didn't know what to do. They couldn't get him flights quick enough. He decides to drive from Arizona to Florida, which is kind of a fateful trip now for him. But this was a really cool part of the interview where Albers talks about that.
And I actually had a friend who was living in Fort Myers at the time, and that's where this Twin Spring training complex is. And they said, hey, if you need a place to crash for a couple of days, you can crash here. Why don't you just drive? And so I looked it up on MapQuest, and 42 hours, and I thought, oh boy. But you know what? It was like, I had the thought of, if I'm going to do this, I got to go all in, right? And didn't want to have to look at myself in the mirror 10 years later and wonder what if. And so I called Tim O'Neill back, and I said, hey, how about this? I'll hop in my car tomorrow. Like, they weren't going to be able to get me over there for a few days anyways, get me a flight. And it's like, I'll hop in my car, I'll drive over, I'll throw for whoever you want me to throw for, take your medical, do whatever you need me to do. If you guys like me enough to give me an opportunity, great. You can reimburse me for my travel. If not, don't even worry about it. My dime, I'll go home, whatever. Just trying to get that opportunity, right? He made a couple phone calls, called me back about 15, 20 minutes later. He said, yeah, okay, that'll work. Hopped in my car the next day, and yeah, I think it was, I can't remember. It was 36 or 42. It was a long one.
What kind of car?
I-10 in Southwest Texas is miserable. It's the only place I've ever driven that's worse than driving in Saskatchewan. So it was a long, long drive. Let's put it that way.
What kind of wheels did you have? What were you driving?
Driving a 2004 Buick LeSabre.
Nice.
Outstanding. It was a comfy ride, let me tell you. Not very good on the gas mileage, but man, was it a boat. And we had some long trips together, me and Lucy the LeSabre.
But that must have been such a, you gain a little bit of a soft spot for some guys in the Minnesota organization, a guy that's willing to do this and go through this grind, and then you get there and obviously you perform, but that shows your character, right? To do something like that.
I've often wondered if I get the opportunity, if I don't offer to drive, I never know, never going to know, but I don't know if that opportunity ever comes up if I'm not willing to take that risk.
Again, you can listen to the full interview at the Monday Nooner podcast. Find it anywhere you find podcasts. He talks about his Tommy John surgery, which was really interesting, playing in Korea and Japan and Venezuela, where they would get transported to games and guards had machine guns, and then there was a bench clearing brawl at one of those games. Just a really interesting interview from Andrew Albers. If you want, you can go check the full thing out. Really appreciate him doing that. We're live here at Currie Field in Regina, Saskatchewan at the 2025 Canadian Men's Baseball Championship on the Sportscage. Watching the stream at sportscage.com, and always on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Sometimes there's a song you just gotta hear. And every Sunday morning from 10 till noon, we give you the chance to play your favorites with the Sunday Morning Request and Dedication program. 2 hours set aside to play what you want.
Hey, Cindy, what can I play for you today?
Forever and Ever, Amen by Randy Travis.
Good morning, Ray. Could you play Coal Miner's Daughter for me?
I wonder if I could request Eagle When She Flies by Dolly Parton.
Sure could.
It's all brought to you by Matt's Furniture. Online at mattsfurniture.ca. True Fit Denture Clinic. No one should know you wear dentures, not even you. The Sunday Morning Request and Dedication program with Ray Allen from country's greatest hits. 620 CKRM.
It's the perfect place to hold your event. It's the perfect place whether it's for a trade show, fundraiser, dance recital, company team building event, or off-site business meeting. It's the perfect place for your wedding with exceptional catering services, venues perfect for a group of any size, and plenty of on-site parking. The perfect place for your event is the Connexus Arts Center. Get all the details about hosting your next event at the Connexus Arts Center at connexusartscenter.ca. See you at the center.
In an ideal world, you're already driving one. When you're behind the commands of the Fendt Ideal Combine, you experience a workhorse that takes harvest to task. Real-time monitoring, 485 bushel grain tank that unloads at 6 bushels per second, all backed by a 3-year full machine warranty, plus all scheduled maintenance ensures your harvest doesn't stop. Now that's how you grow bold. See the Ideal Fendt Combine at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nickservice.com.
If you have a garage door that's running a little rough, you should really have Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists, come out and repair it. Or it may need to be replaced altogether. Yeah, just call Busy Bee Doors, the local experts who have been in the business for many, many years, because they can fix or replace any commercial or garage door.
Honey, calling Busy Bee.
Good idea. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. For all your hot water needs, call on Reliance Heath today.
All right, let's start with the Canadian Men's National Championship here at Currie Field. It got heated this morning, let's say. Game 1, Saskatchewan upset the two-time defending champs from Quebec. If you're coming down here, all you got to do is talk to Quebec about it. They'll complain about it because I've already heard
you hear about it very quickly.
3 different guys complaining about it from Quebec. But Saskatchewan, 4-3, a win there. Manitoba beat Ontario. New Brunswick just beat Ontario. And then now we're getting ready at Currie for Quebec's second game against British Columbia. I haven't seen BC come in yet. I haven't seen any man buns or anything like that here, but I'm sure. And then Ontario, Alberta going at it at Optimus Park. Nova Scotia and the host Trappers, 7 p.m. here at Currie. It's going to be a good one. No doubt about it. 7 o'clock. If you're coming down, we're here till 6. Canada West preseason tonight. University of Regina Rams taking on the Manitoba Bisons. Also, Major League Baseball, the Jays dropped 2 or 3 in Pittsburgh. They're going to now travel. They're not playing today. NFL tonight. Patriots, Giants, Steelers, and Panthers. If you go to sportscage.com, the poll today, who's going to win Saturday between the Stamps and the Riders? Pretty simple. And sign up for the latest news from Riderville at sportscage.com and the Insider Report. You got a chance to win tickets there as well. The ticker in hour 1 is for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. Okay, Wayne, Val, and Eugene are here beside us at Currie Field, and I asked them what's their favorite ballpark in Saskatchewan. They went off the charts. They said Currie.
I was surprised too.
You said Fleming's unreal. That's more of a fastball?
Yeah, it's a fastball diamond. There's not a lot of baseball hopping out that way anymore.
So now we start thinking, if we're going to throw fastball diamonds into, I really like PA. Yep. PA's got a nice setup there. Gordie Howe Park in Saskatoon has to be my favorite, I think. But there's some good ones, some good small town ones we're trying to find out. I don't know, what's the Moose Jaw baseball park like?
I've never been. Never. I got to admit, I've never actually went down to see the Miller Express play a game.
936-6262. Let us know what your favorite ballpark is. Josh Miller, local legend here. What's your favorite ballpark, fastball or baseball in the province? Favorite park?
Baseball, Munster.
Munster for baseball. We had
Fleming. Told you.
That's 2 votes for Munster, 2 for Fleming. Already on the Sports Cage. We're going to start hour 2 with Arash, Madani, 936-6262. If you want to win tickets to the Men's National Championship this weekend, it's a Sportscage live on location at Currie Field. We'll be back with Arash at hour 2.
We are the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM News. Scattered rain and thunderstorms and low temperatures contributed to little harvest progress made in Saskatchewan. The provincial crop report has progress at 3% complete, behind the 5- and 10-year averages. Crops Extension Specialist Tice Massich says crop damage due to various bugs was reported this past week.
Burst armyworms are still causing damage to quite a few canola crops across the province, so producers are continuing to spray for those, and then there's just continues to be pockets of grasshoppers which are causing damage to mainly just spring cereal crops across the province, but again, damage isn't quite widespread.
Rain, wind, and hail were also factors. 6 new row house units have been rebuilt at Regina's Regency Gardens through a $3.35 million investment by the federal and provincial governments. Officials say the 6-bedroom units will help larger families find affordable homes and supportive communities. Opposition members welcomed the announcement, but argued it does little to solve the housing crisis. They say the province still has 2,000 vacant units and refuses to consider rent control. They claim the government is siding with landlords while families struggle with rising rents. Opposition leaders say they are preparing rent control legislation for the fall session. A 12% salary increase this year is coming for most junior flight attendants if a tentative deal between Air Canada and the Canadian Union of Public Employees is ratified. The airline and its union agreed to a tentative deal this week that will also see more senior members get an 8% pay bump. James Bogus, Regina Airport Authority CEO, said this is a busy time of year for the airlines.
August is peak travel season. So between July and August, you've got the most people visiting friends and family, exploring their country, maybe, making connections to the United States or to Europe. This was very disruptive.
More than 10,000 flight attendants will begin voting next week on the agreement that not only raises wages, but establishes a pay structure for time worked when aircraft are on the ground. A woman has died following a 2-vehicle crash in the RM of Wolseley. Indian Head RCMP say the collision between a car and a semi happened Tuesday at around 8 p.m. on Range Road 2104 and Township Road 172. A 29-year-old Currie the Kettle First Nation woman was declared dead at the scene. 4 other car occupants were injured, while the semi's driver and passenger were not hurt. And the shocking true story of a group of outsiders who abandoned civilization to live on a remote island comes to life in Eden in theaters on Friday. Director Ron Howard first had the idea for the film 15 years ago while on a family vacation to the Galapagos Islands with his daughter Bryce Dallas Howard.
We went to the Museum of the Galapagos, and one whole room was dedicated to this group of people and this true crime thriller that emerged from their adventures. And Bryce immediately said, "I think this is a movie." And I said, "I think it might be too."
That is your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
When the rut kicks in, there's no room for second chances. Get locked, get loaded. That's where Cash Tactical comes in. Brands like Browning and Winchester firearms, award-winning Vortex optics, and a full selection of ammunition. Start with gear that's as tough as you are. Cash Tactical, Regina's hunting, fishing, and camping headquarters. 2176 7th Ave in the Warehouse District.
620 CKRM on location.
And a good afternoon. We are at the Foam Lake Recreation Combine Lottery, and a chance for you to win big and a chance to give back and feel good about your ticket purchase. And we appreciate all of our listeners that have bought from all 4 corners of the province. Thank you so much. The Radio Blitz ends at 8 o'clock tonight, so we'd love to include you because this is a great lottery. Somebody's going to get a phone call saying, "Congratulations, sir, ma'am. You have won $250,000. No. That's one of the options. The other option is the cash for the Combine. Combine cash, $330,000. You can grab yourself a brand new John Deere, Case IH, New Holland, Kloss. The choice is yours on that from our participating dealers. Our 50-50, $138,000 in climbing. Make sure you get your tickets. Visa, MasterCard, 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
And good afternoon. The 35th anniversary of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission is taking place all this year. And they've been serving southern Saskatchewan and Regina for all those 35 years. And every year there's a program that just kind of keeps growing. 1632 Angus Street. And right now we are underway with the community barbecue, serving those folks that use Souls Harbor Rescue Mission as their meal of the day. We want to thank the sponsors, too, that make this tick, and, of course, the volunteers. Now, if you are looking at doing something in the community, you can stop by into the office during office hours to 1632 Angus Street and ask about the programs and how you can help out. Over 3 million meals have been served for those 35 years. And here's another big number for you. Over 200,000 hours of addiction programming provided as well. 620 CKRM teaming up with Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. I'm Gloria Evans.
Hi, I'm Terry at Powerlift Doors. We're a family-owned company that prides ourselves on serving all of Saskatchewan with the highest quality product. Here at Raymore, I will personally design, engineer, build, and install your hydraulic door to make sure it's done right. From small to extremely large, farm buildings to airplane hangars, new build or retrofit, with the least loss of headroom in the industry. Check us out today at sask.powerliftdoors.com or give us a call at 1-888-692-5515.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks. 1865 McCarra Street. Weather tonight, mainly clear, but it does become windy. We got gusts out of the northwest up to 60. So if you're coming down to the ball game here at the park, will be a little breezy, but looks to be mainly clear, and a low down to 12. So nice night for baseball. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Slight risk of a shower. Looking about 20% chance and a high of 21. But again, windy tomorrow. Tomorrow night, clear and a low down to 11. Nice night for Shake the Lake, if you're going to that. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 21. Great day for Shake the Lake and the baseball here at Currie Field. Sunday for the final here, mostly sunny and a high of 21. And then starting the week, Monday, mostly sunny, high of 26.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
This is Detective Vision, Future Vision. Word on the street is kids are heading back to school, and parents are looking for deals sharper than a fedora's brim. At Future Vision, we've got eyewear so slick, even crime bosses are asking for specs.
Detective, the prices, they're too low.
Relax, sweetheart. It's the 2-for-1 sale. Get 2 pairs of glasses for the price of 1. So good, even the teacher won't see it coming.
Future Vision, proud recipient of the 2024 Consumer's Choice Award.
That's right. No funny business.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
A dream! Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Commanders. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, they're out. That's the old ball game.
Yeah. Saturday live here at Currie Field. I don't know who that was.
I don't know either, but I definitely was at a Cubbies game. Some of those 7-inning stretch at the Cubbies games were wild.
I told Colson back at the studio to test us. Colson, who was that?
Bill Murray.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Also as Daffy
We are
Duck.
live. Yeah, we're live here at Currie Field. The Canadian Men's National Championship, some of the best baseball you're going to see around. The host Regina Trappers take on Nova Scotia at 7 p.m. Quebec right now up against Alberta here at Currie. And then over at Optimus Park, it's Ontario. Or no, Quebec's taking on British Columbia, sorry. Ontario, Alberta are going at Optimist right now, and then they'll clear things off. They'll throw some water on the field, 7 p.m. Nova Scotia and the hosts here tonight. We're giving away tickets at 936-6262. If you want to watch some hardball all weekend, it's going to be a nice weekend to watch ball. A little breezy right now, still okay. Quebec got upset this morning by Saskatchewan.
And they're upset about it.
And they are letting everyone know about it. I guess they did kind of get hosed a bit, but there's no instant replay. That's the way the egg rolls.
Instant replay is ruining sports, so let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, so they're letting everybody know that they got a bum steer this morning. So that's going on here. We're going to have some fun. Arash Madani standing by in a bit. We got more coming from the Riders. We got the NASCAR report. Crofty is going to be in for Sharky. Sharky's on a fishing trip.
Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, and when Sharky's usually here, Greg's filling in from the Piffles podcast. It's always for Flooring Superstore. Trent Dickin and his team, their cash and carry prices can't be beat. Flooring Superstore in Regina. We're asking people what's their favorite ballpark in Saskatchewan. 936-6262. If you just want to play along, or if you want tickets, you can let us know you want to come. Here, what I'm going through here. Hodgeville.
Interesting.
Hodgeville, a new one. Home of the Huskies. The rink is tiny. Tight little senior barn there. So we got to vote for Hodgeville. We got a number for Munster, a bunch for Currie,
a bunch for Fleming,
which is a fast ballpark. So we're having fun on the Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Let's get into it with our man Arash Madani.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Arash, you're in town next week. Royal Regina hosting the event with Bruce Boudreau on Thursday. There's still a few tickets left to that, by the way. People want to get into that. Now, Nova Scotia plays the host Trappers at 7 p.m. here. Amongst friends, should we place a little wager on the game tonight?
I think we have to, don't we? I think we absolutely have to.
Where I'm from, we should. What do we want to? We want to go for pints on Wednesday night. Losers buying pints.
Losers buying pints sounds like a plan. Now, here's the thing. I did a little absolutely a Western Pizza. I did a little research. So the Dartmouth Dry representing Nova Scotia, as usual. What else is research? Yeah,
you're not getting odds.
So here's a little known fact about Arash. 25-ish years ago, for the Truro Daily News, I used to cover the Bearcats in the Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League, and those bleep and bleeps from Dartmouth would always win the Nova Scotia title. And here we are in 2025, and wouldn't you know it, it's the Dartmouth Dry again, and it's like, I'm assuming Joel Irvine and Darren Doucette are nowhere to be found, but I'm sure Greg West nowhere to be found, but I'm sure some of their brethren.
The Dartmouth Dry?
That's it. It used to be the Dartmouth Moosehead Dry, but I don't know who they're.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it to do with the beer? Okay, but those guys could win you some pints next week, so you'll be rooting for them. You'll be rooting.
You don't have a roster in front of you, Barney, do you? A Dartmouth roster by any chance?
Greg does. Who are you looking for?
Is there an Irvine? Is there a West? Is there a Doucette? Those were the nemesis back in the day.
Not seeing any one of those right now.
We're going deep. I think I will be in the beer gardens too for that one, so I might be texting you live updates as we go along here. Let's talk Blue Jays. Though. Vlad Guerrero hasn't played in 2 games. MRI hamstring issue. Should we be concerned about that, Arash?
They're calling it inflammation, is what the MRI showed. Now, Vlad was stretching out to make a defensive play. Barney, it almost seems like it's become routine that he does the splits almost in every single game, reaching out for a ball. But the other night, he kind of, in Pittsburgh, he pointed to that hamstring. He left the game, and we haven't seen him since. Now, the Jays are off today. And they said, okay, we'll sit him on Tuesday and Wednesday after he left the game on Monday to take advantage of the off day. I'm going with everything's fine unless he's not in the lineup tomorrow. If he's not in the lineup tomorrow, then you have yourself an issue. But hamstrings are weird, man. Like, hamstrings linger. Hamstrings are something that need to be taken care of. This can't be something that they just kind of hope goes away or just, do treatment on it throughout. So I think tomorrow's a real important day if you're a fan of the Blue Jays in terms of where things stand with Vladdy.
Not as bad as groins, but hamstrings can be, like you said, nagging. Definitely.
Yeah.
Eric Lauer has been one of the best pitchers for the Jays this season. He's out of the rotation as of right now. Joey Loperfido was hitting over 300 and set down in the minors. What gives?
I think we might have lost him.
I think so.
We might have lost Arash. But yeah, Vladdy. I noticed that the other day, and sometimes I'm hard on baseball players.
Yeah,
it's like, we got he tweaked his hammy or tweaked whatever. I'm like, it's like basketball. Get in there.
Still, a man that big should not be doing the splits, and he does it every game.
A little too. At some point, Father Time tells you. Father Time says you can't do the splits anymore.
It wasn't Father Time, but I don't think I ever could do the splits, even when I was in shape.
Yeah, you'd always looked a little bit weird if you're hanging around with your buddies and you could do the splits, unless you were a goalie.
Yeah, well, those are weird to begin with.
Quebec hit into a double play here, and it's definitely a pro British Columbia crowd at Currie Field right now. Are we getting them back, Colson? Sorry, I didn't understand what you're saying there. Okay, we're going to get Arash back. Blue Jays are off today. They lost 2 of 3 in Pittsburgh. I don't know, post All-Star break, I know they kind of, right after they're okay, but I'm not, and again, I'm not the baseball hardo. I'm not going to pretend I'm the baseball hardo and all that. I'm just not that confident.
Oh, it's funny. I've got a chat group with my guys that I'm in fantasy football. They're big Jays fans, and I'm a borderline Jays fan. Like, I'll follow along, but I'm like, yeah, there's still plenty of way to finish 2 games out of the wild card. We're okay yet.
While you're away, Arash, and then Greg and I were talking about. Greg said he never could do the splits. I think I could. There was a brief period, probably in that 17, 18, 19-year-old. Barney, but after that, not so much. And they got a text message here from the great Kip Simon, baseball player, that Vlad should never be doing the splits ever. But yeah,
not anymore. Anyway,
it's going to catch up with you. You had a question about
Eric Lauer has been one of the Jays' best pitchers. He's out of the rotation. Joey Loperfido was hitting over 300, but he's now sent to the minors. What's going on here?
Well, you look at it, it's almost an embarrassment of riches. Like, you look at the Jays' record right now. First of all, they're 20 games above 500. They already have as many wins on the 21st of August as they had all of last year. So Loperfido has been hitting 350 over the stretch. Well, why is he out? Well, George Springer just came back from a concussion, and George Springer is getting paid $125 million, and he's hitting the leadoff, and he's hitting the ball really well right now. So, of course, George Springer is going to take that role over. As for Lauer, this is where I find this whole thing getting really interesting, because Shane Bieber is going to start tomorrow, their big trade deadline acquisition. Okay, so what does that now mean for the starting staff moving forward? Lauer, for now, will skip a start. He's made it sound like he's going to be back in the rotation. What's going on with Barrios? How is the postseason rotation going to line up? They have some decisions over the next 5 or 6 weeks on how to kind of deploy their arms. We're about to find out real quick on how this is going to shake out.
Hey, you've been around baseball a long time. When does this really become a pennant race for a team that is 20 games above 500?
Yeah, like, Barney, what do we always say? The CFL season starts around Labor Day. I would say
I don't say that, but everyone else does.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from this really starting to get, air quotes, real for the Blue Jays, because they've pretty much locked up a postseason spot. But you look at what's coming up. The Milwaukee Brewers are red hot. Remember, they won whatever it was, 13 in a row. Everybody in the town got free burgers. So they're coming up at the end of August. But then comes the gauntlet. After Labor Day, it's the Yankees, it's the Astros, and later in the month, it's the Boston Red Sox. So, this is every single game is really going to start to matter once they get through Labor Day weekend.
We always talk sprinkling on the show. We started it with we're playing for pints, Nova Scotia and Regina
pizza.
this evening.
And Western Pizza.
We won't play for the pie unless Luke comes. The pie's on him. If Luke doesn't come, we'll figure that out. But let's go with gambling. And you have maybe found a spot where people are taking it too far.
This is ultimate. This is way too far. Okay, like, I'm as degenerate as you get. Let me just preface it with that, okay?
Here.
But wagering on 12-year-olds in the Little League World Series, that's a line. That's crossing a line. Like, Bet Online and Bovada right now have odds. The managers of these teams, again, 12-year-olds, are not happy. Bet Online's based out of Panama. Bovada out of Costa Rica. It's one thing for an adult, a pro athlete, to be getting some of the vitriol from gamblers saying what they're saying to them on social media, but this isn't right. This is absolutely wrong. There has to be a limit to all of this, Barney.
I'm riding Japan into the final. That's where my money is.
Not Chinese Taipei?
Hey, yeah, no, I'm surprised that they have. Are we just talking straight lines, or is there props? Have you seen?
I'm not. Also, how do you start? How do you even begin setting lines and spreads and money lines on Little League? Like, how does that even? Who's doing your advanced scouting on this?
Yeah, who's the bookie that gets that job? It's like, hey, we need you to find out as much as you can on these two teams, and then these ones, and then these ones. I said, the one kid's out. He's sick. He's got mono. That changes everything. CFL gambling. Let's go there. Growing trend in the prop market, where it seems to be the wise move to make some smart money in 2025. At the running back spot.
Like, there's been a renaissance at the running back position. Like, remember last NFL season, Barney? We kept talking about Saquon and we kept talking about Derrick Henry. Well, now you kind of look at where offenses are headed right now. Yeah, Bo's doing Bo Levi things and Trevor Harris has rewound the clock. But BC's kind of turned things around and they're running the ball with James Butler. Like, James Butler has been a massive part of this offense, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Dedrick Mills in Calgary, the stamps out of nowhere, above 500, succeeding, 5+ yards a carry. Between the two of those guys, 13 touchdowns. When you talk to coaches around the league, they're telling you right now, the team that runs the football better is the team that's really kind of making a mark through the first half of the season. The question becomes, how sustainable is this? And then you say to yourself, well, wait a minute, October, November, when the weather turns, is this going to continue? Like Butler's averaging something like 14 carries a game. Can that continue for the next 8, 9, 10 games, including playoffs for BC? Dedrick Mills is around the same. Can that continue for the next 10 games for the Stampeders? That, to me, is just the durability. Can this be sustainable? That, to me, is the question.
So what I'm hearing from you is the Riders, after Trevor Harris, they need to bubble wrap AJ Ouellette right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, don't they? Third leading rusher in the league. He's averaging better than 5 yards a carry. He's been in the end zone 3 times. You know, they're handing the ball off to him, 13, 14 times. And that's just rushing. We're not even talking about catching the ball out of the backfield in the screen game and the rest. Like, Ouellette's more than a bell cow to that offense. And I got to say this too, Greg. They don't give out awards for best assistant coaches or best coordinators. But to me, Mark Mueller gets mine through the first half of the season. I am so impressed with the way they mix the run game and the pass, the way the run game opens up the passing game, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's a big part of that now. But, you know, Trevor has also been able to keep his jersey pretty clean. And I think that's a big part of how Mark Mueller's been calling games. When you're 39 years old, you've had injury history and all the things that Trevor's been through. The way they're calling the game, the way they're using Ouellette, that really matters.
Stamps and Riders, the game of the week?
Kind of. You're probably going to think I'm crazy. I think Edmonton-Ottawa is the game of the week. Like, I get the Riders are 8-1. I get the Stamps are 6-3. I think Sask is going to win that game. Edmonton's 3 right. Edmonton's, that's the Little Leaguers. Edmonton's 3-6. Ottawa's 3-7. It feels like both of them are playing for their playoff lives. Like, somebody's got to win that game. But then again, like, we're in a scenario where Winnipeg could cross over into the East and represent the East Division in the Grey Cup at home, and would have to be suiting up in the visitors' locker room on Grey Cup Sunday. That is on the table as a scenario because of how bad teams like Toronto and Ottawa and Edmonton are. How about that?
Yeah.
His lips to God's ears. I want that to happen so badly.
Okay, here, boys. Let's go around the horn, though. Is there any way that they would make concessions on that?
No.
If I'm whoever's coming out of the West, I'm kicking and screaming.
No,
there's no way
West
I'd let
Division
Winnipeg dress in
team?
their dressing room.
Right. What West Division team is going to give that up? Unless you're saying, all right, no problem, we'll do that. The game's going to start 7-0 for us. Then you can have whatever locker room you want. And I don't think that's happening either. So
give us 7 points and we'll talk about the dressing room.
Well,
totally.
Cash could exchange hands. Some cash could exchange hands. I don't know. I was thinking about it actually last night, and I saw that. I'm like, I wonder if there's anything that could happen. The league steps in. Maybe it's like, okay, we're willing to give you guys this, so we don't have to do it. I think the story alone, that's an ESPN 30 for 30 on its own right there, Arash.
And I'll tell you, the closest thing to that, it's not even the same, but the closest thing to that, I want to say maybe it was in 2018. The Stamps beat the Red Blacks in the Grey Cup at Commonwealth. So the Stampeders' home locker room was Edmonton's locker room. man, they did a number to that locker room. They absolutely, it was champagne, it was cigars. They let their provincial rival have it.
Don't flush the toilets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Here's a question. I don't know how we're doing for time, Colson. Talking to me here. We're live on location at Currie Field, Canadian Men's National Baseball Championships. I asked Greg this question.
Yeah.
If the Riders were 5-3, the Riders were 4-4, would we maybe see Boris Beatty or somebody else with them right now?
And all the scenarios are the same in terms of the kicking and this and that. Maybe. Yeah, it's a good question. It probably wouldn't have gotten to this point.
Yeah.
Like winning hides everything. John Madden had the line of all lines. Winning is the best deodorant. So here's my question to you. If that game on, Saturday night? If that game is played in an indoor stadium where wind is not a factor, are we having this conversation? I'll counter
Based
your
on
if
other
with
games?
another if.
Based on other games Lothar's played this year, I'd say yes, because did the wind affect him a little bit? Yes, but Legio had a
No,
kick
the wind
in the same
affected him a
wind,
lot,
and Legio
Greg.
was far better.
No. The wind affected him a lot. Okay?
Right, but Legio also had to kick in the same thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Lothar fan, and I'm having trouble justifying his performance right now, and I want to. But when you have other kickers kicking in the same situations that he is, whether it's Hamilton or Regina, he's missing something this year, and I don't know what it is.
He may be, but he's also hitting from 59.
Agreed.
Yeah. A 59 thing really throws a monkey wrench.
I know it does.
Everybody,
I know it
I'm
does.
sure in his own kitchen as well. He's like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Seinfeld episode. You're spotting dimes. You're eating onions. Don't know what the heck George is doing here, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we got pints on the game tonight. I'm all Trappers. You're going Nova Scotia. We're playing for pints. And then Mountain Region versus Southeast at the Little League World Series. We got Xander Toff on the hill against Nixon Kelly. I'm going to take Mountain Region -1.5. I can't wait to see you next week, buddy.
Likewise. You know, if Greg's joining us, Greg, I want to tell you, Lothar missed field goals under 1.5 this week. What do you say?
I'll take that action.
Yeah. If you like pizza and
so
beer,
you're saying Brett's going to miss 2 or more.
Look at
I'm
me. Do
saying
you think I like pizza and beer? Look at me.
So I'm betting Brett to succeed, and I'm betting on my guy from Truro, and all you Prairie guys who hate us East Coasters who take all your money.
Easy now.
I love the Maritimes.
Yes.
But I don't know. Hey, speaking of Easterners, the Quebec guys kind of got jobbed in game 1 of this tournament this morning. Legit. They lost to the host or the other Saskatchewan team. They've been letting everyone know, complaining. It's actually quite comical. So see what happens in this game. Okay, next week, buddy. Can't wait to see you.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Right on. That is Coast to Coast with Arash Madani from Brian Gawley, Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call on Brian. Brian could probably text in. He's probably got a nice ballpark in the province. He's been around the ballparks. We got the NASCAR report with Crofty coming up next. It's the Sports Cage live at Currie Field at the Canadian Men's National Championship. We're streaming at sportscage.com and on the home of local sports, 620 CKRM.
Calling all Rider Nation fans. The Sports Cage Riders Coaches Show on 620 CKRM is your weekly insider access to the Saskatchewan Roughriders coaching staff. Tune in every Monday during the Sports Cage for direct updates, strategies, and insights straight from the team's leadership. Elevate your game day knowledge. Catch the Riders Coaches Show on 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998. $19.98. You tell them Colin sent you. It's the Combine Lottery here in beautiful Foam Lake. Hey, they've got their farmers market taking place in the park here right now. It goes from 5 to 7 if you're in the area. We've got some big draws coming your way on Monday. The deadline, it's fast approaching, 8 o'clock tonight. There is a sense of urgency, so don't put it off any longer. Somebody's going to get a call proclaiming they won $250,000 for $100 tickets. Sweet. I got my tickets, and hopefully you'll get yours before the 8 o'clock hour hits, and then all the draws coming up Monday at noon. If you want a Combine, we'll give you $330,000 in Combine cash towards the John Deere Case IH New Hollander Claus Combine. Visa, MasterCard, 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
And we're continuing on here at Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. We've got the afternoon barbecue going on. It runs from 4 until 6. This is the daily meal that is served to folks who rely on Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. I have a special guest, Russell Hart, president of the Regina Rotary. Is that correct, Russell?
Correct, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your organization coming here to help in a volunteer basis.
Well, we've been associated with Souls Harbor for at least 10 years. We're our club, the Rotary Club of Regina. There's a few clubs in Regina, and our club is over 100 years old. We had a centennial back in 2017. We wanted a major project. We picked Souls Harbor, and in those following years, we had a capital campaign that directed itself to Souls Harbor. We came up with $250,000 donation at that time to go towards the building of this magnificent building facility, $6.2 million or something like that. And that was the beginning. We've continued on as a Rotary Club. We try to address what seems to be needs in the community. And one of the needs that Regina has acknowledged itself through its city report is food insecurity. So Souls Harbor does a magnificent job in addressing that, and that's one of the agencies we like to identify with. And so since then, we've continued to fund a certain amount of the meals on a monthly basis, and we come personally here to actually serve and clean up at least once a month.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for that. Again, Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. Back to Sportscage.
Experience a harvest so fundamentally different with performance and efficiency other combines just can't match. Experience a Gleaner S98 from Nick Service. There's no inefficient gearboxes or hydraulics robbing your combine of power, keeping your Gleaner a lean, mean harvesting machine. They save more and cost you less. To learn more about putting a Gleaner S98 on your farm, visit Nick Service, your AGCO dealer in Emerald Park. nickservice.com.
We asked Karen what it's like investing with Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions.
Brian is great to work with. He's always quick to get back to me. I like to ask a lot of questions, and he's always been really good. No question is a silly question. He cares about, when I ask him something, he's very detailed, and I know he cares about his clients, and he's very thorough when he explains things, so I understand it.
SmartInvestingSolutions.ca.
Regina, get ready for some thunder. The Regina Thunder are charging into an electrifying 2025 season, and you can be on the roster, the fan roster. Come support our hometown heroes as they deliver bone-rattling hits, jaw-dropping plays, and the best local talent on the field. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be part of the winning tradition. Feel the energy and live the excitement. Season tickets are on sale now at reginathunder.ca. Bring the thunder.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Meet Todd,
It's noon. He's really hungry, and his stomach makes sure to let him know it.
Todd, we talked about this. No more skipping meals. I need cheese. I need crust. I need Western pizza.
All right. Western pizza it is.
Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
I got a quick one locally yesterday. Anyone playing slow pitch out at Rambler Park?
Oh, yeah.
I was golfing, men's night at the Royal, and love slow pitch guy. Slow pitch guy is so invested. All of a sudden, we're playing. You hear this hooting and hollering, and it's the loudest booyah ever. And I was like, that guy's having a night over there. So, and then also Wilbur texted in, quick note that happened last weekend in Battleford. Melville Bantam Millionaires ball team of 1978 were inducted into the Provincial Baseball Hall of Fame. So there we go. Those guys were clutch back in 78. The Melville Bantam Millionaires in 1978. Clutch performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Do you have one? Sorry.
Got to go with Peter Borsch again this week for the Thunder. Another 200, over 200 yards on the rushing. 2 games over 500. I think 517, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Like, the dude is an absolute wagon. I can't wait to see what happens this week.
I love his last name.
Borsch.
I love it. And then while we're here, we'll throw out Rhett Fesser, winning pitcher for Saskatchewan, as they upset Quebec this morning here at Currie Field in Game 1 of the Canadian Men's National Championship. That's the Saskatoon team, kind of Marysburg, all that. So Rhett Fesser, again, Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Let's get into the NASCAR report.
The Sportscage NASCAR Report, where rubbin' is racing, is brought to you by Croft Electric. 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. Visit croftelectric.com and on all socials.
Crofty, what's going on
boys.
today? Shark, where is Sharky? What is Sharky doing? Fishing or hunting? No, it's not hunting time.
Yeah, he's fishing out on the coast.
That's right. He's on.
He's catching tuna, and I think he sent me a picture. He caught a big red snapper this morning too. So he's having his best life out there.
Classic Sharky. All right, what do we got for the NASCAR report from Croft Electric?
Yeah, and thanks for letting me come on again. Hey, can I add to the clutch performer?
Absolutely.
I want to say farmers and construction workers that are out there working in this heat this week. So big hats off to those boys and girls that are doing that. So, but yeah, let's get into some NASCAR. So a cool kind of funny thing happened at the Richmond race last week. So Bubba Wallace was having a pretty much a career day at Richmond, and he comes in for a pit stop. I sent Colson a video on this, so if you could throw it up. So he comes in for a pit stop. He's leading, and during the pit stop, you can see on this if they show the other part, his front tire changer starts hitting the car because he didn't get the lug nuts on tight. He pulls out of his pit, gets about halfway down pit road, tire falls off, hits his own car. He ends up in a Toyota teammate's pit. So another pit crew jumps the wall and throws the tire on for him. So anybody that says NASCAR is not a team sport, there's Toyota teammates helping each other out to keep Bubba in the race. It took them out right here at the front.
Yeah, you made so much sense in this because I saw the video. I think we were chatting in our chat group. You had it too. Yeah. I didn't realize what exactly happened, that it was the other pit, but same team that put it back on.
Yeah, so that guy right there, you can tell right away. He's like, no, I didn't get it. So then he pulls into another Toyota pit, and they jump the wall and give him a hand.
That's awesome. Yeah, would that guy be fired on the spot next day? What kind of stuff? How long would he last?
Oh yeah, he's in trouble. They do a lot of pit training. He's probably got So, and they've gone to like a single lug nut now, like F1, and they used to have the 5-star, like, you know, like your old Malibu. Yeah. And so they went to that single nut. So if they when they used to miss one on the 5, it would still be able to get around and come back. But with the 1, you miss one, you're done. So yeah.
All right. What do we got this week? What do we got this week in NASCAR?
This week we're going back to Daytona. So this is the second race at Daytona. It's a Daytona Coca-Cola 400. So it's the last race of the regular season. So there's 2 spots left in the playoffs. So basically, we've got Tyler Riddick and Alex Bowman on the bubble. Both of them, Alex Bowman's plus 600 to the good to be in the playoffs. The most you can get in a race, if you win every lap and you lead all the stages, is about 50 points. So nobody can get in on points. What they need to do is win to get in. So there's a lot of guys like Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs, your buddy Allmendinger, Brad Keselowski, that are right on that bubble. And if they win, they get in, because NASCAR has the win and you're in the playoffs policy or rule. So being it's the last race of the season, it'll be an exciting, and of course, you know, Daytona 11, the draft. There'll be a lot of rubbing, a lot of racing, and you know, I know you love the sprinkling. There, my buddy Shinky. So I would look at somebody like your buddy Allmendinger, a Kyle Busch, even though I hate saying his name. Ty Gibbs would be another good one, because the guys that are in the playoffs already, the main guys, I mean, they want to win, but they're not going to push. You know, it's like your starting quarterback. You know, you guys just talking about bubble wrap and AJ. You know, you might not try as hard because you're already in the playoffs, right? So, you know, I would go on those bubble guys and try and make a little money off that.
Okay, there we go. I don't know. I always say I'm going to sprinkle on NASCAR, that I get to it like to the Sunday and then I chicken out. Okay, Crofty, what should people know about Croft Electric? Let's go there right now.
Yeah, this is a great time to start talking about holiday lights, permanently installed holiday lights. And give us a call. We're happy to come out and get you ready for Christmas. And basically every holiday, you can turn your house red or green. You can do NFL teams. You can do whatever team you want. So we're happy to give you a call. Give us a call. We'll come out and give you a quote. The other thing is it's storm season. You know, you need a generator. Give us, let us come out, put in a generator, and never worry about power outages again.
There we go, Crofty. You're a beauty. Thanks for filling in again this week, doing a heck of a job. And I'll probably see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. And thanks for having me, guys. And you two stay cool out there. And it looks like you're right beside the concession, so maybe get a couple of adult beverages.
Yeah, and a pork missile. There we go. All right, see you, Crofty. See you, buddy.
See you, boys.
That is the NASCAR report for Croft Electric. 27 years of reliable service in and around Regina. You can follow them on all the socials or just visit them at croftelectric.com. It is a Sports Cage live from Currie Field, streaming at sportscage.com.
Looking for the best gear at the best price? Extreme Hockey and Sport just raised the bar. Now, with a price match guarantee, find the same product anywhere else, show the price, and they'll match it. The gear you need, the service you trust, and the price you want. Why settle for anything less? Get the local loyalty and the price match guarantee only at Extreme Hockey. Any budget, expert fit. Your local sit and fit hockey shop. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, Regina's hockey shop.
620 CKRM on location.
14 minutes away from the top of the hour here, and then we're going to have about 3 hours to go to include you in the Foam Lake Recreation Combine Lottery and our 30th anniversary, and we've added more money to the draws. We've got a big payout, $250,000. Everybody's talking about it, getting some texts and emails And everybody's saying, what's the number? Well, the number, very easy. 1-888-453-1998. Visa, MasterCard. Tickets are $100 each. 6,000 tickets printed off. We're about 1,000 tickets short of a sellout, but you got to love the odds. $250,000 once again. Visa, MasterCard, $100. 50-50. That's up there. $138,000. Those tickets are 3 for $50. Or the Super Pack, you can get a 10-pack ticket purchase for only $100. So 10 50-50s for $100. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
And hello from Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. We're located at 1632 Angus Street. Kathy Ingram, we've had lots of community come by to grab a hot dog, some potato salad, and all the kinds of goodies. These events happen because of wonderful sponsorship.
Totally so. Today's sponsor is LS Security, and we are so thankful that they stepped up to provide today's supper.
And what about the volunteers? We just heard from Mr. Russell Hart, and really kind of shedding a light on why this is important.
Totally. We can't do what we do without our volunteers, especially those like the Regina Rotary Club.
So if people want to get in touch with us, we're here till 6 o'clock. How do they do so?
They can hop on our website at shrmsk.com, fill out the comment card, and we'll get back to you right away.
From Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, 620 CKRM.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know.
That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Currie the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Yar, do you fancy yourself a bit of a price pirate? Get ready to pillage and plunder Tuesday treasures at Freeze Tallman. It's a treasure trove of clearance items on display at the bow or the front of the store. With new items announced on Tuesday, you'll never know the bounty you'll find. Check the website for updates or stop by the store in person. Tuesday treasures. No treasure maps needed. Visit freezetallman.com. Regina location only. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Saskatchewan, it's time to talk sports. Sportscage is on the air. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. And we're always online at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Go out and talk to Brian Raymond at Flowing Springs Golf Course. Brian, a little breezy, but another beauty night to come and take advantage of the specials out there.
That's right. And, we always talk about the golf specials for green fees and that sort of thing, but we've got a great sale going on here in the clubhouse. All of our Skechers golf shoe inventory is 25 to 50% off. Our Sundog sunglasses are 40% off, and Level Wear logoed shirts are 40% off. And we've even got Titleist, Callaway, sun hats, those big brimmed hats, 50% off. So some great deals for that, as well as the golf that we have at the golf course.
Right on. That is a good deal. Everyone's looking for new kicks late in the season, so good to hear. Let's run down the golf specials, though.
Absolutely. Every Monday and every Wednesday, it's $39 for seniors over 60 and women. Our daily Twilight rates are $38 at 3 and $22 after 6, but next Monday, our late twilight starts at 5:30 to take advantage of the fact that we're running out of daylight.
We're starting a little early. And then the other thing, tomorrow is Friday, which are a week out from the Labor Day Classic. People should call tomorrow to get tee times next week for if they're rolling into town.
Yeah, absolutely. We book 7 days in advance. So anybody who's planning on coming into town, and or even if you're in town and you've got folks coming in, call and book a tee time for the Saturday, because it usually fills up pretty quickly.
All right, and phone number and online?
Yep, give us a call at 306-543-5050, and you can now book online at flowingspringsgolf.com.
Thank you so much, Brian. Chat again.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, you too. Flowing Springs Golf. All right, let's get into the ticker, Colson.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
Riders are back on the practice field again today, prepping for the Stamps. Doesn't look like Mario Alford is going to go for the Riders. That game's right here Saturday on 620 CKRM. Can West preseason football tonight. The Rams against the University of Manitoba. Canadian Men's Baseball Championship at Currie Field, Optimus Park. That's where we're here right now at Currie Field. It's going to be the host Trappers against Nova Scotia at 7 p.m. right now. Quebec's taking on British Columbia. Saskatchewan, the other Saskatchewan representative, they beat Quebec earlier this morning. Jays are off today. They're going to travel to take on somebody in Florida tomorrow. I can't remember. NFL, Florida, Patriots and Giants play tonight, and Steelers and Panthers. Also on the hill, I should mention, Cody Rock from Kenora, Saskatchewan for the Trappers tonight.
There you go.
That's their ace, I am told. Second hour sports ticker is for Extreme Hockey and Sport. Whatever your sport is, Extreme Hockey has you covered, and now they have the price match guarantee. So if you find a better deal anywhere, they will match it quickly. Also, the Thunder are in action this weekend.
Thunder play the Edmonton Huskies at Leibel Field, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
What? 2-0?
2-0.
Porsche in the backfield.
Porsche in the backfield.
Can we get some T-shirts made?
That'd be a good one, actually. It should be a good game. Huskies played the Thunder tight in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. They've got revenge on their mind after not only losing to us, but also getting their behind spanked by the Hilltops this past weekend. So they definitely, if they want to stay in playoff contention, they've got to find a win somewhere here.
Who's the defensive? Who's making things tick on the defense?
Oh, that defensive line is so good. You also got Cooper Filizek as a DB. He's doing well. Devin Bowman on defense and special teams got a pump block TD this past weekend in Calgary. The Thunder are clicking right now, and hopefully they can keep it up.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Leibel Field on Sunday. Thunder in action. We're back in hour 3. We got Glen Suitor. We have an interesting Prairie Golf report. We're going to talk to the editor from Score Golf on how they come up with these whole rankings that I've always been curious about. So that's coming up, more from the Riders, and we're obviously going to have updates here from Currie Field. It's a Sportscage live on location at Currie Field, streaming at sportscage.com.
Stay in the know about what's happening in Regina. Get the latest news and events delivered right to your inbox with the Regina Today newsletter. Whether you're looking for local happenings, must-visit spots, or the latest in local news, we've got you covered. Sign up today and get Regina's best stories all in one place. Text news to 306-936-6262, and we'll send the link right to your phone. It's free, it's easy, and it's all about Regina. Sign up for the Regina Today newsletter from sasktoday.ca.
Hey, let's hit up Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Pump? You talking about my basketball shoes?
No, Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Who?
Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. They're open now. They've got a large selection of local draft and food and drink specials. Kids are allowed until 8. There's live entertainment every weekend.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Regina, get ready for some thunder. The Regina Thunder are charging into an electrifying 2025 season, and you can be on the roster, the fan roster. Come support our hometown heroes as they deliver bone-rattling hits, jaw-dropping plays, and the best local talent on the field. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be part of the winning tradition. Feel the energy and live the excitement. Season tickets are on sale now at reginathunder.ca. Bring the thunder.
SEIU West members are
phlebotomist, food service worker, security officer, plumber,
continuing care assistant,
porter, licensed practical nurse, medical device reprocessing worker, purchasing agent,
environmental services worker,
social services worker, cook, health information management practitioner, switchboard operator,
distribution worker.
The backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seius.ca.
It's the start of a new year. Time to get financially fit. If you're looking to open an RRSP or a TFSA, maximize an existing account, or update your investment mix, Cooperators can provide the personalized advice and service you need. Want to start the new year on the right financial foot? Contact your local advisor to build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
The 620 CKRM Country Corner is brought to you by Glasses TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, and Foster's Audio Video in Carlisle. Get the newest cell phone today with an amazing SaskTel rate plan.
The Sask Abilities Shaping Inclusive Communities Conference is coming up September 5th and 6th at the Queensbury Convention Center. Keynote speeches by individuals experiencing disability, informational sessions, and lively discussions. For more information, visit saskabilities.ca. Grab your friends and take in the Fall Mom Market, September 6th and 7th at the Viterra International Trade Center, featuring over 100 vendors focusing exclusively on small local businesses. Check out themommarketco.com. And Danceland at Manitou Beach presents SCMA multi-award winner J.J. Voss and a damn good band, Saturday, September 13th. There's a barbecue buffet or burger and beer and a bus tour departing from Regina. Tickets and information at danceland.ca.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Streaming online at 620ckrm.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the sasktoday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news for Echo Sound and Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. Crop reporters were asked to follow up on livestock water supply and quality in the province. Crops Extension Specialist Tice Massich says most livestock producers are happy with what they have.
About two-thirds of livestock producers have no concerns about water shortages or water security recently or heading into the fall, but about two-thirds of them say that they might have a few concerns that they could see some shortages, but it's hard to say right now. About 17% of them are saying there's moderate shortages.
He goes on to say 14% are reporting shortages will happen in the next month or two, and 2% have severe shortages of water. But most producers are not concerned about water quality. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe and the province's canola industry are asking the federal government for urgent action to resolve the trade dispute with China. China imposed a 76% tariff on Canadian canola seed last week. That's on top of a 100% tariff it imposed last year on canola oil and meal. Moe says the issues can be resolved at the national level.
And that is going to happen by our federal government and our Prime Minister meeting with President Xi and finding our way not only, I would say, to the opportunity and to a better place with respect to the canola industry, but the opportunities that we might have more broadly across Canada in expanding our trade and expanding additional production of all industries to a place like China.
Canada exported around $5 billion worth of canola products to China last year, and the industry is worth around $45 billion per year. The governments of Canada and Saskatchewan have invested $3.35 million to rebuild 6 row house units at Regency Gardens in Regina, but critics say much more is needed. The new 6-bedroom homes are designed for large families and are part of the national housing strategy. Opposition members say Saskatchewan still faces a housing crisis with 2,000 vacant provincial units and no rent control. They argue the government is siding with landlords instead of renters, while promising new legislation this fall to protect tenants and improve access to affordable housing. Make sure your seats are in the upright position as Air Canada looks to have their volume of flights take off once again. James Bogut, the CEO with the Regina Airport Authority, said it was welcome news that Air Canada is quickly resuming flights, as the airline and their flight attendants have reached an agreement to their labor dispute. Bogut said to check with the airline if you haven't heard from them or are uncertain about the status of your flight. And police in Florida say they are investigating the death of pro wrestling icon Hulk Hogan, despite a medical examiner concluding that he died of a heart attack. The Clearwater Police Department said in a statement today that the unique nature of the case requires the service to interview multiple witnesses and seek medical records. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, died July 24th at the age of 71 in a hospital after a 911 call. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Let's get out on the water. Now is the best time of year to buy a boat or pontoon at Kevin's Marine. Cast a line in a Lund fishing boat. Take the family out on a Four Winds boat. Or head out on a pontoon by Harris or Crest. Powered by Mercury Motors at the lowest prices of the year. There are manufacturer's rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing on a great selection of boats and pontoons. Plus Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. Enjoy your summer. Get out on the water. Stop by or shop online at kevinsmarine.com.
620 CKRM on location.
And our location, beautiful Foam Lake. It's a great area of the province, and we're trying our best to help out, and that's where you come into play here. We appreciate your support, and a big thank you to everybody that's bought tickets to this point. And without you, it's not possible to last as long as we've had. 30 years and still going strong. We're going to give away some combine cash. Maybe you need a combine. Maybe you're having some great yields this year. Your header doesn't fill its purpose anymore, or the hopper bin's just a little too small. Let's help you upgrade. $330,000 in a combine cash payout. You can get yourself a brand new John Deere, Case IH, New Holland, or Claas from any one of our participating dealers. If you don't need a combine, how about $250,000 for a $100 ticket purchase? Ask about the 50-50. It's around $138,000 and climbing. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
Oh, CKRM is everywhere today, and today we are doing community things. 1632 Angus Street, the 35th anniversary of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. And Kathy, we just heard how many people have gone through here in an hour. The number was
254, and we've got an hour left. So we've prepared for 450, so come on down. We still have lots.
And, come and ask the volunteers or ask the staff maybe how your community can get involved in a program like this, like as a volunteer or a donor.
Totally. So come and have a chat with us. We're more than happy to say how you can help us out. If you can't get down here today, give us a call or jump on our website at shrmsk.com.
All right. You know what? If you've never seen this in motion, it's great because it's like a well-oiled machine. For 620 CKRM at Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, 1632 Angus Street, I'm Gloria Evans.
This back-to-school season, don't be prehistoric.
Mom, my phone is basically a fossil.
Sweetie, your phone's older than a T-Rex.
Time to evolve at Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
They have new phones, back-to-school deals, internet and Max TV stream, and no extinct data plans.
In 2025, there's no excuse to roam with a Jurassic phone. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel, echosound.ca.
Weather brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection, Killer Looks, 1865 McCara Street. And Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. croftelectric.com, and you can find them on all socials.
The air has really been drying out through the day with dew points way down into the single numbers now, and with a clear sky, but still a gusty wind. Temperatures likely variable through the night. Will average around 10. Some of us could see a little bit below into single numbers. Some of us could stay a little bit up in the low teens. Either way, it's going to be a cooler day tomorrow than we saw today. 21 with a mainly sunny sky. A couple of clouds in the afternoon, less than a 20% chance for a shower popping up from those clouds, and still quite breezy through the afternoon. The wind will settle down for Friday night, dropping off to a low of 9, and a mostly sunny day on Saturday, the high at 21. This cooler air mass sticks around through the weekend. The wind much lighter on Saturday. Still a light breeze, but a lighter one. Sunshine and 21 for Sunday. And then on Monday, we start a new warm-up, 26 under a mostly sunny sky into the mid-20s to upper 20s through midweek. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm precision weather meteorologist Phil Spivak.
He's at it again. Matt's sharpening his pencil to save you money at Matt's Furniture. Now till August 27th, save big on Whirlpool top-load washers and dryers. Get the Whirlpool 6.1 cubic foot top-load washer paired with the 7 cubic foot steam dryer for just $23.99. Or get the Whirlpool 5.5 cubic foot top-load washer with 7 cubic foot steam dryer for just $1,599. See in store for all the details and list of qualifying models. Matt's Furniture in Fort Capel, Kamsack, Melville, and Foam Lake, or online at mattsfurniture.ca.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
It's for Cookie. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. So many jokes there I want to say, but I don't want to get in trouble. But we're playing the baseball theme because we're live at Currie Field for the Canadian Men's National Championship. The host Trappers take on Nova Scotia here at Currie at 7 p.m. Really good baseball. If you didn't hear the Andrew Albers interview in hour one, you can go back and listen to it. He talks about when he played in it. They tried to get him to play this year, but there's a lot of guys with we might get one of the Trappers on here in a few moments. A lot of guys that played
some pro ball. It's wild that you don't. It's not that you don't hear about it, but it's so few and far between. But yeah, ton of baseball guys out there is from Saski.
I'm watching the pitchers here, Quebec and BC right now, and I'm like, that guy's throwing gas. Like it's legit out here. So if you're coming down Currie, nice night for ball. You got the beer gardens going, the burgers, the fries, hot dogs. I don't know about Cracker Jacks, peanuts probably. All here at Currie Field. So we're going to have Glen Suitor coming up in a moment. We also, hopefully, to get one of the Trappers on. We also have the junior football report and then a unique Prairie Golf Gems coming up at the end of the show, talking to the editor of Score Golf, who's and how they make the ratings for golf courses. I've always wondered that. Sharky's not in today on this Thursday. When Sharky is in, Greg's filling in from Piffle's podcast. It's for Flooring Superstore, Trent Dickin and his team, the experienced team, where their cash and carry prices can't be beat if you're do-it-yourselfers. And thanks to Access Communications, the sponsor on Thursdays, Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Let's get it going with a little press coverage.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glen Suitor on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Glenn's still on Oh, you're not. You're at home. I thought you would maybe get you on a fishing boat or over the phone again.
Yeah, it was the original plan was a 7-day trip, which is why I have the bye week. First time in 30 years for that. But a 7-day trip to Bamfield. Now, Bamfield is on the west coast of Vancouver Island. So you have to take the ferry from Vancouver over to Nanaimo, and then you drive for a while. It's actually probably 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, but there's only one highway into Bamfield and out. And it's a long haul. And what happened, like the week we were supposed to leave, was the forest fires. The forest fires happened on the island, not only shut down the highway in and out, but also knock out the electrical in Bamfield for a week. So I just couldn't take a chance. Although it would have been nice to be trapped in Bamfield salmon fishing for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I just couldn't afford to be trapped in there and miss a bunch of games. So yeah, it was. It switched up to Gibson's, which is closer. One quick ferry over. No fires, and it was a great trip anyway. Nice, and I'm going to go back out this weekend with my son. So good stuff.
Gibson's, is that where they filmed the Beachcombers, Molly's Reach?
Yes, and Molly's Reach is still there. Right below, it's still sort of a coffee shop, that kind of thing. And just below that is one of the great, and I can't even remember the name now, but it's a great seafood place just below it. Same owners now, I think. But Molly's Reach is still there, and they're selling hats and T-shirts.
Oh, man. What I wouldn't give to go back. Nick Adondris cruising his boat around back in the day. A simpler time we lived in back in the 80s. Let's get to the Stamps and Riders, Glenn, and get your take on things. Last time the Stamps were here, right, there was like the Riders, they kind of got bullied a bit. I would almost bet the farm or both farms that the Riders are going to be prepared and they are going to be really physical on the lines.
Well, that's one of their strengths. I mean, I've been harping on this for a couple of weeks now that collectively that defensive line certainly for Saskatchewan has been a real strength of that team, and it allows Corey Mace to call a lot of different type of exotic coverage looks because of it. So when you look at that D line and what they're doing up front, and they're causing problems for even the veterans. It allows you to do a lot of disguise. Guys can hold disguise longer. That's another key to a 4-man pressure that's getting there. And then when you do send pressure, there's always a free guy. So that allows for throws that aren't on target. And once that happens, your DBs can make hay, like you see on the podcast right now. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge in a big way though, because first of all, it's a game of the week. And again, another one that I wish I was doing, but it's going to be challenging in that Calgary has a very similar sort of defensive structure, and maybe not all the X's and O's the same, but where their strengths and weaknesses are. Younger in the secondary, but still making plays back there, and their front four is excellent. So I think defensively they kind of match up there, and they're getting a lot of injured guys back. Like Barney, you're going to see maybe even Adam Bighill play. You're going to see Alfred, the rookie receiver, the tall rookie receiver, probably going to play again. I think Philpott is back and healthy again for Calgary. So they have a lot of their sort of big play receivers that have been hurt are returning to the lineup, and their quarterback's healthy too. So it'll be a challenge.
Obviously, with that front four, their job is to get the quarterback either to sack him or push him off his spot. Problem is, Vernon Adams is probably the best quarterback at being off his spot. He's so mobile. What do you think the defensive back, that secondary, is going to be queuing in on?
Yeah, it's a great question, Greg, because you're bang on. I mean, he Vernon Adams uses his legs differently than a running quarterback. Like, he's not a Damon Allen. He's not that kind of guy. He can run, and he can run very effectively. But what he does is he uses his quick feet to negotiate the pocket with his eyes up and down the field. and he is allowing for double moves and things like that because of it. So he can say to your receiver, be patient in your route because I'll just buy some time back there. And, as a DB, you have to react eventually. I mean, you might not bite on the first move, but you have to react. If a guy's running an out and you say, no, I don't believe you on the out, I think you're coming up. You can do that once, but if it gets to a second time, now you've got to turn. So I think it allows for that and receivers to run and be patient, run some of those double moves and things. And he's a gunslinger. He's a gunslinger. Vernon Adams is not. He's a different style than Trevor. He's not sort of a surgeon. Trevor is a surgeon and dissects a defense. Vernon is kind of a gunslinger that says, I got a matchup down the field. I'm giving my receiver a chance, and he's going to throw it up. Now, to your question, the Riders secondary is good enough to make those plays in the one-on-one matchup. So if they do play man, which what Corey Mace does, but when they're in those set, and we sometimes we divide those two things too much, man and zone, because a zone look is basically dropping, and then it becomes man as soon as the receiver comes in your zone. So those matchups of zone defenses turn into man-to-man anyway as you get down the field. And let's see some of those jump balls and things like, does Milligan and some of those guys in the back end, do they start making some of those plays when they're in the 50-50 ball category? Because we know they can.
The one thing that you don't see a lot in the CFL, I get the clocks are different, NFL to CFL. You don't see teams do a lot of hurry up, call things on the line. When the defense is tired, when things are pushing, it just adds that wrinkle, right? You played defense, but if you can you see a team huffing and puffing and rolling, and to keep a team, A, you're guessing, B, you're tired, and you know where you're going, they don't. You just don't see that a lot. I wonder if that's a wrinkle at some point. We could see the Riders, and I could see a team like Calgary really benefiting for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Better for the offense when you're at home because you don't have to fight the crowd noise. And, I know some will have fun with the fact that maybe there won't be that much crowd noise in Calgary. But I think for this game, there will be a very split sort of fan base there. You're going to see a lot of green and white in Calgary, as you always do. But, it's a good point, Barney, because I've said many times when we talk about time of possession and how if an offense is dominating the time of possession, let's say the Riders are dominating the time of possession and they have the ball for 12 minutes and the opponent has the ball for 8 minutes. And I say this is going to catch up to the Calgary Stampeders as the game goes on. They're going to start to fatigue on their D-line. And people say, well, why does the defense get tired, but the offense, who's out there for 12 minutes, doesn't get tired? Because to your point, the offense knows where they're going. There's a play drawn up where a receiver runs his route with precision, and that might be and the defensive back has to cut 4 or 5 times, backpedal, get out of his backpedal, maybe redirect, if you're ever in a hockey situation where you're in the corner and you have to redirect and battle in the corner and take 3 steps one way and 4 steps back, how quickly the burn happens in your legs. Well, that's what defenses have to do, right? So defensive line, same thing. DBs, linebackers, same thing. And that's why they fatigue when an offense is staying on the field and dominating the time of possession. And hurry up can do that, but there is a downside to hurry up. The downside to hurry up is that you can be 2 and out too quickly. And if you're out there and not everybody's on the same page because they might not hear or whatever, you can be out quickly, and then you give the opposition more possessions.
You need the football IQ to run a proper hurry up for sure, sir.
Obviously, this game being the Riders and Calgary, it's probably going to be tight. And the big story right now is Brett Lothar and his kicking, and them bringing in Campbell Fair. Arash suckered me into a 1.5 misses this week bet for next week. Where are we at with Brett Lothar, do you think? Is it in his head? Is it physical? Is he still the kicker that Rider Nation believes he is?
I think he is, and I'm going to stick with him. I as far as my opinion of him, because I watch him strike the ball, and it's there. He's missing field goals, yes, but he's missing them deep. It's not like he's mishitting the ball. It doesn't look like there's any injury situation or that, he got drastically out of shape in the offseason or anything like that. So I see physically a guy who is striking the ball well. And if that's the case, then what is it that he pushes one time and pulls one the next time? It's got to be mental. And it is such a cerebral position to play. I mean, you have to deal with the pressure that your teammates have driven the ball, physical game, up and down the field, and now you have to go out there and you have one job and you got to put the ball through the uprights, and you haven't gone through the physical challenges. And there's a lot of pressure on you mentally because of that. I know with working and being so close to Dave Ridgway for all those years in Regina, that I know how much he struggled with that pressure, that he might let down his teammates if he misses. And that can compound on itself. It just starts to stack up that, every time, even short field goal attempts, you start to think, I don't want to let him down. I know I can hit it. You're battling self-doubt. So, again, I think if you get down to the simple, bring in competition, that covers the team, because if the competition, who is a young guy that no one really knows, but if he has a live leg, then he is an option down the road if Brett Lothar still continues to struggle. And if he doesn't, which I don't think he will, I think this will be the catalyst to getting him back on track and just simplifying it. If I don't kick well, I lose my job. It's pretty simple. If I don't kick well, I lose my job. It's not, it takes away all that other emotional stuff with teammates and coaches' speeches and all those things. There's a guy in the camp. If I don't kick well, I think it'll lock him in. And he's not, there are some kickers, and not Ridgway and not Lothar, but there are some kickers that are a little flaky. Let's be honest. They're a little different, right? They're just different type of guys sometimes. I mean, look at some of the other ones in league history. But Brett Lothar is a mentally tough guy. So he's going to. I think he's going to get through this. I really do. Now, you might want to tape it and tape what we just talked about and roll it back in a month and say, your prediction was wrong. Right. But I am choosing to believe in Brett Lothar and believe he can get through this.
That's the common theme around here. There's no doubt about it. All right. We'll wrap it at that today. Good to see you back, safe and sound. Glenn, what game are you doing?
I have the bye week. I have a bye week.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bye week. So I guarantee you one thing, Barney, that in about an hour from now, there'll be a big piece of Chinook salmon on my barbecue in the backyard as I watch Montreal-Winnipeg.
Attaboy. All right, Glenn, have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Take it all in. You deserve it. And we'll talk next week.
Thank you, gentlemen.
See you later. That is press coverage with Glen Suitor for Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where they will treat you right. Professional service is guaranteed. Like I said the other day, you don't want to be caught with a broken AC unit.
No kidding.
Right now, whether at work or at home. Bronco Plumbing and Heating, 781-2090. Okay, we got some Trapper stuff to go. That's it for you today. You got to drive to Saskatoon
tomorrow morning. Yeah,
play some golf. So thanks for being a prediction this week.
Riders, obviously.
Bye.
Brett Lothar field goal.
No. There you go. I'm thinking that the Riders win by like more than 5.
It's a 1-point spread. Hasn't moved last I checked. Yeah. So it's a pick 'em. So
Right on. Greg from Piffles Podcast. Nice to have him along. We're live here at Currie Field getting ready for the host, Regina Trappers, against Nova Scotia this evening at the Canadian Men's Baseball Championship. We are the home of local sports, 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
Here we are, the Foam Lake Recreation Combine Lottery. I'm Colin Lundquist. I'm going to be here until 8 o'clock tonight. We'd love to get you on before then because the last hour just gets crazy. Phones just jam up, and this is an opportune time to get in. We'll take that information, 90 seconds to process the ticket, get you off a receipt. You'll be in the draws on Monday. We're going to make somebody happy, $250,000 happy. That's the grand prize, the $250,000. Or if you want a combine, a brand new combine from any one of our participating dealers, we can set you up with a John Deere, Case IH, New Holland, Claus, give you a great jump start on it with $330,000 in combine cash. We've got a massive 50-50 that's close to $140,000 and climbing. Super Pack is 10 tickets for $100. Get yours. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
Hey, it's always kind of fun when you can hop on with Sportscage, and we're going to shift gears just a little bit. But I have found out that Souls Harbor Rescue Mission has lots of great volunteers. I know the Regina Pats have been involved and lots of other people. If a sporting team wanted to come down, maybe a younger team, can they do that to volunteer?
They sure can. They can just call our office and talk to Hannah, and we can get that set up.
Now, any criteria when it comes to volunteering?
Our only criteria is you need to be 15 years of age or older.
And we've got a barbecue going on here right now. This is going on for the next half hour or so. Tell us a little bit about what happens on a day like today.
So a day like today, we've got people coming. They're going to help prepare supper. They're going to help serve supper, and then they'll help clean up after.
It's pretty nice and simple, really. And you meet some great people along the way. 620 CKRM, Kathy Ingram. We're celebrating the 35th anniversary of Souls Harbor Rescue Mission in Regina. I'm Gloria Evans.
Hey, let's hit up Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Pump? You talking about my basketball shoes?
No, Pump Jack's Cathedral.
Who?
Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. They're open now. They've got a large selection of local draft and food and drink specials. Kids are allowed until 8. There's live entertainment every weekend.
Let's go. I'm pumped.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
SEIU West members are
Stores Person,
Unit Assistant,
Finance Officer,
Unit Clerk,
Recreation Coordinator,
Youth Care Worker,
Medical Laboratory Technologist,
Power Engineer, Office Administrative Assistant,
Maintenance Services Worker,
Medical Transcriptionist,
Medical Office Assistant,
File Clerk, Medical Laboratory Assistant,
Pharmacy Technician.
the backbone of your public health care system. Learn more at seius.ca.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
There's something we need to talk about: debt. I know it can be an uncomfortable topic, but the truth is most of us carry some form of debt and we are ashamed to talk about it. My name is Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. Every day, people struggling with debt come to me for a solution. When you make that call, I'll listen to your story without judgment and will lead you to a debt-free future. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to learn more.
Back to Sportscage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
All right. All of our guests usually join us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, a nice night for a Western pie or any of the Greek favorites that you like. We're at Currie Field today and tomorrow because it's the National Men's Baseball Championships. Cole Beinel joining me right now. Plays for the Regina Trappers. And Nova Scotia tonight, first game, the Hope opener at home. Okay, I got to tell you, you're from Marysburg, Saskatchewan originally. People were messaging in that, Marysburg and Munster. That whole baseball, why is it such a baseball factory?
It's kind of hard to explain. I think it's
like
more
your
so.
Dad played.
Yes,
and then
like everyone's parents played, and then their kids play, and it's just kind of one of those things that you just keep playing. I guess I don't know.
You're just born into it.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and it's like the whole community's always support it and everything, so it's pretty easy, pretty fun. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of friends on it. All the teams are playing too, so it makes it fun.
Do you play with Marysburg in the regular season, and then the Trappers pick you up here?
Correct. Yeah.
And then, but a bunch of the other Marysburg guys they're playing with the other Sask team out of Saskatoon.
Right. Yeah.
How's that?
It was different. I was at the game this morning, and I was like more nervous than I am in a game when I play it. And I was like, oh my God, I hope these guys can win. So it was awesome to see them win. That was great. Yeah.
Your story is cool. You play some JUCO down in you said Colorado, and then is it Northern Kentucky?
Right.
That you play, and then you get drafted by the Tigers.
Right. Yeah.
How was that journey?
It's when I first went to school, it's something that seems like almost unattainable, right?
Yeah.
You're from Saskatchewan and whatnot.
You're just happy to go to school.
Exactly, right? So it's like you go to college, it's fun, whatever, you have fun. Then all of a sudden you go to Division I. I got lucky enough to go to a Division I school. Then you start playing good there, and then all of a sudden it's like, geez, I might have a shot, and teams start talking to you, and you start doing all these questionnaires and whatnot for them and stuff. And then it was pretty surreal. It was really awesome. Yeah.
How many years did you grind through the minors and all that?
3 years or 3.5 years, I think. Yeah.
And then when did you know it was kind of time to come home?
When I got released.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, they just said, we're releasing you, and I had an agent at the time, and he said he could maybe find me a spot, and I was like, I think I gotta start my life. So
Plummer and Humboldt now?
Yeah, correct.
Right on. So you've been with the Trappers, you said 3 seasons. The last 2 years, they've lost this thing to Quebec.
Yeah, here we go.
And then last year, I remember watching it online. It was like a 2-0 tight game. You guys just didn't get the hits. Having it here, would that help at all when it comes to baseball, playing at home?
Oh, for sure. I think so. I think it can be more pressure, but it's also like more pressure is almost kind of fun because you have an opportunity to do something really cool, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that actually makes it more fun. And what do they say? Like pressure makes diamonds, right?
Yeah,
so it's kind of one of those things. Yeah.
Cody Rock on the hill tonight.
Yeah.
He's kind of the ace.
He's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. How many innings do we need out of Cody this weekend?
I don't know. He could throw more than I could even fathom. So I don't know. I don't know how many we're getting out of him.
This tournament where you've been through it, is there like you only can drop this, we only can lose this many games because we don't to get into the playoff round and all that. Like, what's the mindset of the team when you're at a tournament like this?
I think, and this is something we've kind of learned, especially last year, you cannot take a day off, game off. Yeah. And it's kind of nipped us in the butt the last couple of years, where we played a morning game. Everyone was kind of moving slow. And then all of a sudden we get beat by a team maybe we think we should have beat. And that's another thing. Every team is good. You know what I mean? There's no nights off or no days off. So I think that's something we've learned over the last few years.
What would be the highest speed someone's going to throw this weekend here? Because people are out there listening. This is like legit ball. Like a lot of you guys, a lot of guys played pro. What would be the highest speed we'll see?
Oh, there's going to be guys in low 90s, I think. You might see it tonight, maybe from Rock. Yeah, I think he can get up there. So, yeah, there will be low 90s for sure.
Do you know anything about this Nova Scotia team? Dartmouth dry.
They beat us last year in that morning game that I was talking about. Yeah. So
you got boys are a little hungover, maybe, or a little part,
like just moving, maybe a bit.
It's okay. You're grown adults.
But yeah, we were moving a little slow, and yeah, all of a sudden they got off to a hot start, and it was just we couldn't get back. Their pitcher threw well, yeah, and we just could not get back into it. So, and then it kind of made our other games must win, which you don't necessarily always want. So.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thanks for doing this.
You betcha. Thanks for having me.
And good luck. Let's give a plug for the plumbing company in Humboldt.
Streamy Plumbing and Heating. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Cole Beimel is playing for the Regina Trappers. They're up tonight, 7:00 here at Currie Field against Nova Scotia, the Canadian Men's National Championship. It is a sports cage. We're on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
The ball is snapped. He scans the field. He's going deep. What a play! Rider fans, make your own great play by going to riders5050.ca. You can now buy tickets for every Rider game, home or away. You can also sign up for the 50-50 Club and never miss a draw, including the weekly loyalty and early bird prizes. All proceeds support amateur football in Saskatchewan, equipping the heartland, and just maybe score a big win. Get your tickets today at riders5050.ca and go Riders! Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
620 CKRM on location.
And if you're just getting ready to have a meal and just not quite there yet, you might have a couple of minutes to call us. We would appreciate that because our deadline is coming up here at 8 o'clock tonight for the Combine Lottery in Foam Lake. We got to thank our great sponsors of the Combines, Pattison Ag and Wynyard for the John Deere. For Case IH, Rocky Mountain Equipment out of Yorkton, the New Holland, Mazer Group, Emerald Park, and Claus, Canada West Harvest Center, also in Yorkton. That's the choice of the four that you get to pick and choose from. If you take the $330,000 in Combine cash, only 7 winners over the last 30 years have taken the Combine. Most take the cash straight up. This year it's $250,000. Massive 50-50, over $140,000 in climbing. Super Pack, 10 tickets for $100, and we got 30 draws of $1,000 a pop coming your way on Monday. 1-888-453-1998. 1-888-453-1998.
620 CKRM on location.
Well, Kathy Ingram, Souls Harbor Rescue Mission employee extraordinaire. You've got some great volunteers here and wonderful staff. 35 years of commitment to the community. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. We've been here a long time, and we continue to be, or we will be here for a long time longer.
Tell me now, we do have volunteers. Again, we need to give a shout out to any of those people, but the sponsors are so important.
100%. We couldn't do what we do without our sponsors, like LS Security, who is sponsoring today, and our volunteers. We just don't have the staff to be able to do it all ourselves.
And the commitment is pretty much just make that donation or come and donate some time, and great people to work with. I can attest to that. If people want to make that commitment, how do they get in touch with you?
Just jump on our website at shrmsk.com and we'll help you out from there.
From 1632 Angus Street, Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, where we still have our community barbecue on for another 20 minutes, I'm Gloria Evans.
Have you ever tried convincing a 1,000-pound animal to walk half a mile for a drink? Yeah, good luck with that. Cows aren't moving, and frankly, they don't care about your schedule. So instead of turning your pasture into a full-blown cattle negotiation summit, install a Keln solar livestock watering system. You can drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows chill. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Ugh, what do I want for supper? There's a bag of baby carrots, a slice of cheese that looks haunted.
Step away from the sad cheese, Dave.
What, the fridge? Since when do you talk?
Since you've been standing here for 10 minutes whispering pizza or cereal like it's a hostage negotiation. I'll make this simple. Order Western Pizza. You are welcome.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Looking for a way to relax after a long day?
Come on.
Tired of being notified by life's bells and whistles?
Yeah, I'm gonna need that draft tomorrow.
When you're ready to stop working so hard, you know it's time to play. It's easy to find your next favorite game at Bodog.net. Play free casino games, check out our beginner's guides, and get poker tips. Visit Bodog.net today. #Make a play.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. From skid steers to tents to power tools, anything you need to rent for that summer job is at Prairie Land Rentals. Deal with the owner, 600 Albert Street. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Back here at Currie Field, the hometown Regina Trappers taking on Nova Scotia, 7 p.m. first pitch at Currie. Come down and cheer them on. It's the Men's National Baseball Championship. Riders back on the field today. No Mario Alford going to Calgary against the Stamps. That is out. We'll have more on the Riders tomorrow here on the Sports Cage. CanWest Football, University of Regina Rams, Manitoba Bisons. They're playing a preseason game as we speak right now. Major Leagues, Jays off today after dropping 2-3 in Pittsburgh. NFL preseason tonight. Patriots at the Giants and Steelers at the Panthers. Sportscage.com poll, who will win Saturday's game in Calgary? Sign up for the latest news from Riderville with the Sports Cage Insider Report. Sign up today by clicking on Insider Report at sportscage.com, and you have a chance to win. Coming up after the break, we have an editor from Score Golf. Learn a little bit more about the golf rankings and how they come up with that on our Prairie Golf Gems for Flooring Superstore in Regina. But right now, we go to the Junior Football Report.
This is the Sports Cage Junior Football Report with Dave Thomas.
2 weeks are in the books for the Prairie Football Conference season. In Calgary, the Regina Thunder improved to 2-0 with a 46-21 win over the Colts. Thunder quarterback Adam Mosher was 13 of 20 for 163 yards and a touchdown in the victory, and he says that he's feeling confident.
Yeah, I'm feeling very confident. When you got an O-line like ours, you can just stand in there, so that always makes it easier. You know, there's definitely some things I'd like to improve, but I think off to a good start and just want to keep getting better off of that.
And Mosher knows that as the defending champs, the Thunder will get their opponent's best.
Yeah, we definitely do have like a hit on us, and we just want to keep moving forward and improving every week and not let anyone catch up to us.
After playing their first 2 games on the road, Mosher is excited for Sunday's home opener against the Edmonton Huskies.
Yeah, the Huskies, they're a great team. They play physical, and we just want to bring it to them. We have a few schemes that we want to bring, and we'll see how that plays out.
Kickoff at Libel Field on Sunday is at 1. In other Week 2 PFC action, Saskatoon running back David Collins scampered for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Hilltops improved their record to 1-1 with a 46-6 win over the Edmonton Huskies, while Winnipeg's 2-0 thanks to a 43-24 victory over the Edmonton Wildcats. Now back to the Thunder. It was a big week for the program. The 2013 team was announced as an inductee into the Regina Sports Hall of Fame, and the 2013 team president Bryn Werrett was on hand for the announcement.
It's been 12 years. It's really exciting. All these guys have wives and babies now, and to bring this up and have this special night in October, we hope we can fill the room and bring everybody back. And it's been probably 12 years since I've seen some of those guys. So,
how big of a turning point was it for the franchise in validating what you were doing after the split from the Rams, but also bringing in a new head coach by the name of Scott McCauley?
You're right. It was Scott's rookie year as head coach, and we had put a plan together, him and I and our board, to put some pieces and some pillars and a strategic plan, and it just happened a lot quicker than we thought. It really was the turning point for our franchise and what we've been able to do, but we couldn't do it with sport in the community and events like this to kind of spotlight junior football. So.
And if you talk to Scott, he's very proud of the team and the good football players that he's been able to produce, but he's equally as proud of the good people he's produced.
You're right. They're not all Logan Furlans and everybody that make it up to Rams or CIS or Youth Sport or Roughriders, but we've got lawyers and doctors and real estate guys and a lot of people not only on the team, but our trainers have moved on to work for CFL teams and so on, right? So we are really kind of an incubator for football talent and people in the community, so it's great to see.
As mentioned, the Regina Thunder's home opener is against the 0-2 Edmonton Huskies on Sunday at Libel Field. Kickoffs at 1. In other Week 3 games, 1-1 Saskatoon is home to 2-0 Winnipeg, and 0-2 Calgary's at the 1-1 Edmonton Wildcats. And that's the Junior Football Report. I'm Dave Thomas.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Regina, get ready for some thunder. The Regina Thunder are charging into an electrifying 2025 season, and you can be on the roster, the fan roster. Come support our hometown heroes as they deliver bone-rattling hits, jaw-dropping plays, and the best local talent on the field. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be part of the winning tradition. Feel the energy and live the excitement. Season tickets are on sale now at reginathunder.ca. Bring the Thunder.
It's the start of a new year. Time to get financially fit. If you're looking to open an RRSP or a TFSA, maximize an existing account, or update your investment mix, Cooperators can provide the personalized advice and service you need. Want to start the new year on the right financial foot? Contact your local advisor to build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
When it comes to money, you can bet that everyone has questions. What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Len had questions, he talked to Brian Golly.
Anytime I have any concerns, I'll either send him an email or text him, and he gets back to me right away. But he's still very forthright. Gets back to me right away and lets me know how things are going.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone. Call Brian Golly of Smart Investing Solutions. 306-546-2533.
I would recommend him to anyone.
This is Sportscage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Prairie Golf Gems this week, a little bit different. We're going to talk about a Saskatchewan golf course that we've had on the program before and that we've showcased on this Waskesiu, but a little bit different. I'm here with Jason Logan from Score Golf. Score Golf, if you're a golfer, you know what it is. You probably have a copy somewhere kicking around, especially at the cabin. That's where I like to put them. Jason's from Score Golf. You guys just came out, Jason, with your top 59 Canadian public golf courses. First off, why 59?
I knew you were going to ask that. Years ago when we started doing this public course ranking, to differentiate from the top 100 that we do, which is all courses, public, private, there was a real clamoring among our readership for a ranking of just public golf courses. So instead of doing the top 100, we're like, okay, we're going to do the top 50 golf courses, the top 50 public. And I don't remember who it was. I know somebody gave me credit, but I don't remember saying this for the first time. But somebody said, instead of 50, why not 59? And I think it was just after somebody had shot 59 on the PJ Tour. And just the philosophy was that, 59 is always considered this magical number in professional golf, breaking 60. It happens more frequently now, but not as frequently back then.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be something different and, admittedly a bit of a branding exercise. And I think it caught on. And so, it gets 9 more golf courses on the list. So
that's right.
So we've stuck with it.
So we started chatting on email, and like I said, I golf a lot, and I know a lot of guys that golf, and I've always wanted to ask someone, how do they pick the guys or the people or the women or the juniors, I don't know, that go out and rate these golf courses? Yeah. And then you emailed me back, and it's more of a rigorous process than I would have thought. Explain that to people.
Yeah, there's definitely an application process. I would say bottom line is anybody who applies to be one of our panelists has to be able to prove that they've already played, at least 60% of the courses on the top 100 already without our help. And so I always say, I'm not looking for course raters that need my help accessing golf courses. I'm looking for course raters that can help us improve the ranking because they're so well traveled and they're so knowledgeable already. So we've got 95 people on the panel now, and it does evolve. They're expected to rate at least 10 courses each summer. Anybody that doesn't is thanked for their time and replaced. Most of them are ranking many more than just 10 courses, and they're very knowledgeable. They're really into this golf course architecture thing. They're well studied. They're well traveled outside of Canada. I have panelists that have no doubt spent tens of thousands of dollars of their own money over the years traveling across Canada, and flights and rental cars and hotels and food and everything else, just to see new golf courses and rate them for this list, these lists, I should say. So it sounds like a great gig. I would never have time to do it. I don't think there's a lot of people that have time to do it. You have to be, I guess, of a certain financial means and then have a job that requires you to travel, I think, or be retired
and
to be able to do it properly.
And possibly single.
Or
significant other.
Being single.
Waskesiu, the new one that came out, 59 public courses in Canada. Waskesiu, a gem here up north, is ranked 15th. You've never played it, but I'm sure you hear a lot about it. It always pops up in your rankings. What do you know? Just as a, I'm curious, as a bystander that's never played it. What do you know about Waskesiu?
Well, I've certainly looked into Waskesiu and researched it, and I think it was in 2021 that it first popped onto the top 59. And I think what is important for people to understand is just because Waskesiu appeared on the top 59 for the first time in 2021 doesn't mean it all of a sudden became a top 59 worthy golf course. It's obviously always been that. But our requirements are that golf courses must have 10 ratings in our system from panelists to be eligible for the list. We don't want to just put a golf course on that a few people have played and liked. So we have a minimum of 10 ratings. And admittedly, this is a large country that's hard to travel. It's expensive to travel. And Waskesiu is not exactly just outside of Toronto. It is in a remote part of the country. So, it was one of those courses where I was really trying to get the proper number of raters to it because I knew about its history. I knew about Stanley Thompson's fingerprints on it. Those who have played it at my encouragement rave about it. They rave about the contouring, the ground, the setting. Is it a golf course on the ocean? No. Is it a golf course in the Rocky Mountains? No. But it's, by all accounts, an extremely good design where the ground really comes into play. And I think that's an important part of golf that people overlook. Golf isn't just about getting a number, firing at the target and hoping you land it right beside the pin, right? The ground plays an important part of it. That's what links golf is all about. And from what I understand, the property at Waskesiu and the contouring in the fairways just makes for a really, really enjoyable round, and not one of those golf courses where it's kind of paint by numbers, where, you're just like hit it here, and hope you make a putt. It requires creativity and imagination, and that adds to its fun factor, and that plays a big part in our rankings.
Hey, I grew up on the course. I'm going up there tonight. All the things you say is, for someone that hasn't played it, is totally correct. When you go to the top 100 from last year, I don't know if it's the only other Saskatchewan course. Waskesiu is in there, I think, at 43 or 49. But the other course
Riverside is on there as well.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to get to. Riverside up in Saskatoon, fantastic golf course. A lot of people say probably the best, most manicured, and it's private course in Saskatoon. Have you played that one?
No, I haven't. I'm sad to say that I have not played golf in Saskatchewan. I have was there to see Brooke Henderson win in 2018 at Wascana Country Club, but did not bring my clubs. Next time Saskatchewan hosts the CPKC Women's Open, which I'm sure it will again after the turnout in Regina that week was phenomenal. To see Brooke win, I still remember the final round. The weather was miserable, and the galleries were 10 rows deep from the first hole to the 18th hole. So when I won't say if, I will say when Saskatchewan hosts the Women's Open again, I'll make sure to bring my golf clubs.
Yeah, there obviously, like everywhere, there is so many sweet courses in and around hidden gems. That's why we do this this part of the program right here. Okay, now before I let you go, I got to ask you, all the courses you've played, what's your favorite in Canada?
Well, I'm really happy you asked that because I've just returned from 2 days at Jasper Park, Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, which has been my favorite golf course in Canada since I saw it for the first time in 2004. And obviously devastation struck Jasper last year with the wildfire that tore through the town and the resort and the golf course. And I am over the moon to say that the golf course looks fantastic.
Nice.
They opened on July 1st. They've done so much work. The team there has been working around the clock. The conditioning is phenomenal. Yes, you do play through some scorched trees that cannot be cut down, at anybody's whim in a national park. And when I first played the golf course, it was kind of jarring to see those. But as you make your way around, you realize that they actually provide this really cool, mystical, almost enchanted forest look.
Yep.
Juxtaposed against this amazing turf and these amazing Stanley Thompson holes. And the trees that did come down to the fire have opened up views that did not exist at that golf course for decades. There were parts of that golf course that were choked by trees and ruining some sight lines, and that's not the case anymore. So I enjoyed it so much, and I was worried going in what it would look like, and I left just over the moon at how good it's come through the fire. So always been my favorite since I first went there 21 years ago.
That's a great story. I wasn't even sure if it was back open yet, but that's good to know. It reminds me too of Whitefish Lake, the South Course. Part of it had a fire go through a long time ago, and they kept the trees there, so it kind of adds this like mystique, this little bit different, right? Yeah. Jason, thanks so much. This has been totally enlightening, especially for me, and I'm sure all the other golfers out there. And now I know who I can talk to if you got any questions when it comes to score golf or just golf in the country.
Got it. I'm always here for you.
Right on. Jason Logan, editor from Score Golf Magazine, joining us here on Prairie Golf Gems, brought to you by Flooring Superstores in Regina and Cooper Tire, made in North America. It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we are on the home of local sports, 620 CKRM.
We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station, broadcasting live from downtown Regina.
It's 6 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. Very few combines were out this past week due to a combination of rain, thunderstorms, and humid mornings. Crops Extension Specialist with the Ministry of Agriculture, Tice Massich, says only 3% of harvest is complete in the province.
That is behind the 5 and 10 year averages. So definitely harvest is a little behind this year than in previous years, but still lots of time for producers to get the crop off, especially if we get the warm and dry conditions that